First of all, I got blood on my hands from a mosquito I just killed. I had a mosquito. I hit it, and when I did, it like got blood everywhere. Good morning, y'all. Let me take this off before I have the law called on me for being out here in a bonnet. Because you know nobody knows how to mind their business. They see a girl off the side of the highway cooking breakfast, and they gotta call the law. Because they don't know how to mind their business. I'm hungry. We're eating a very carby, high-fat breakfast because we're going to work out all day. My ovulation has passed, and the good shit's about to happen. Man, the week of your period, you just feel amazing. It's invigorating. You have all this energy. You don't need to eat. You don't need to sleep. I wish it was like that all month, honey. I get about 10 good days out of a month. The other 20 to 21 days are absolute hell because of PMDD. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, Lisa, Shane. Crater. Good morning, y'all. I'm so hungry. Put this stuff up so I don't forget it. Avocado. I got it. I found it. I'm so hungry. It's cold out here. It's like 60. Yeah, Mariah. It's a pain. It really is. Get one. It's chilly, y'all. It's like 60 degrees. I'm going to add some water to these like I did yesterday. These noodles are so good. And they're affordable, and the macros are not bad. Could be worse. If you're going to be doing a high intense workout like I am, you'll be fine. If you know, you know. Okay, let this cook for a minute. What are they? Noodle head. Sweet chili Thai noodles. I was going to make a protein, but it's so cold. I'm not going to be able to stand out here. So I was doing some investigative journalism online last night. I found some interesting shit. Let me tell you. So I got to looking at, y'all know yesterday I was talking about how they treat van lifers out here, how they're not accepting of people that live out of cars. And you know, we were talking about how expensive things is and the infrastructure and how cheap everything looks. Everything is literally falling apart in Key Largo. When I say falling apart, I mean roofs are caving in, erosion is happening to the foundation. It's literally falling apart. The entire island looks like shit. I've seen better. So I'm like, well, what's their yearly budget? What are they working with here? Surely they make billions off of tourism, right? Where's that money going? They have a bigger budget than Greensboro, North Carolina, which has like 500,000 people. There's 12,000 people that live on this island. Their budget was over 715 million this year for 25. $715 million, a larger budget than cities. Hold on, I gotta get my other phone. This is done. We're gonna talk about it. Where's the money, Ron? Listen, y'all know that I support Ron DeSantis. I like Ron, but something ain't making sense. Why would a city that only has 12,000 people have a budget of $715 million, but a city that has 500,000 residents only has a budget of $200 million? But the island is falling apart, so the money is not being spent on the infrastructure. Their employees are down because there's only a population of 12,000 people. So it's not like their overhead is expensive. And then they're making billions off of tourism. Where's the money going? Why does it look like a shithole here? And why do y'all treat people funny? Because now I think y'all up to some criminal shit. The fact you don't want me here tells me a lot. What you hiding, Willis? And why is this budget $715 million? I got numbers for y'all. We're going to talk about it. Let me finish this. Don't make no sense. Very weird. Very weird. A town of 12,000 residents needs $715 million to help the infrastructure flow. Bullshit. Bullshit. Let me tell y'all something. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Go on now. Damn mosquitoes. You better go on, because I'll kill you. I'll kill you dead. I just killed your brother. The mosquitoes are so bad. Let me get this out of here. I'm fighting bugs. They're trying to get to me. I'm trying to get the avocado. I'm just going to throw half of this on here because he doesn't look happy. Once again, all of the avocados are sick. I keep telling people. They look weird. Don't let me forget the tailgate's down, please. Screw it. Good morning, y'all. Oh, they need to protect their water line. Well, that sounds like a fucking personal issue. We got people out here goddamn starving right now. They pay their fucking rent. They should have fixed the water line when Jesus was a boy. Why don't these rich people get together and pay their fucking taxes to cover it? Like, I don't understand. Y'all, that's some lie that they're telling you, Maria. That's a lie. I don't know how I know that, but it's a lie. I'm about to read you some numbers. That's how I fucking know, because the numbers don't make sense. Makes me so mad. So what, y'all got the cool kids club down here, and you gotta be a millionaire to come and vacation in Key Largo or Key West? Essentially. But let me read you some numbers. Listen to this. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. Something is going on here, and I don't know what, but I promise you, it might take 20 years. It might take 2 years. It might take a century. There is gonna be some kind of mishandling of money. Information that comes, news report, people being arrested, people being laid off. I don't know. All I know is the numbers don't make sense. Somebody in this city is doing something illegal with some fucking money. Let me read you some numbers to prove what I'm talking about is true. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I don't give a fuck if the whole island is eroding off into the fucking Atlantic. I don't care. We have people out here right now that are 2 seconds away from being homeless. And everybody's mortgages are shooting up. Everybody's going through it. This is a tiny island with it's right at 12,000 people. A fraction of most cities. A fraction of most towns. There's no reason that any town with 12,000 people needs a bill of $715 million. That is misuse of money. Fucking gnats. Y'all, these fucking mosquitoes out here ain't no joke. And they're huge. Sorry. They're like prehistoric. I'm not even joking. They're like fucking prehistoric. And when you kill them, you just got a hand of blood. Anyways, sorry. I got one in here. So, let's talk about how much money they get down here. First of all, I thought that Key West and Key Largo were one and the same entity. They are not. Even though they're connected, like the islands run together in a sense, it's two different cities and municipals. Am I saying that right? You know what I mean? Listen. Makes me so mad. I literally wanted to go live last night when I was like digging into this because I was so amped up over it, because it's just fucking preposterous how people listen. I don't know much. Statistics, data, numbers. I don't know how I'm capable of looking at stuff like that and comparing the figures and seeing that something is off there, but that's what I'm good at. So let's start with the budget. So, oh, it's on that phone. Motherfuck my life. Hold on one second. It's on that phone. I'm going through my stuff and I'm like, my notes, I'm like, where's this shit at? Hold on one second. Hungry. I'm gonna start on this. I put avocado on top and I'm gonna put some of that. Well, you know, I need to try it first to see if it's even good. Where did the fork go? Oh. Something's going on here. I don't know what. I don't know what this money is being used for, but I promise you something is going on. I don't know if they're trying to turn this fucking island into some big ass fancy fucking resort. I don't know. I know that Disney just got a contract out here for something, some kind of something. I need my phone. I'm sorry. I should have went live on the other one. I haven't eaten. I can't think till I eat. Like, I can't even process thoughts. So good. This damn gnat. I hear my belly growling. So there's a city north of here called Boca Raton. It's got, I think, like 300,000 to 500,000 people. Their budget was only, hold on one second. This is why I did this. I did all my research last night, screenshotted it on the wrong fucking phone. Well, we might have to talk about it this afternoon, y'all, because I ain't got my phone's not working, and this is how it goes every morning. Every morning. Imagine how awesome my content would be if I had fucking Wi-Fi. I don't even have cell service. So let's look at the budget for Boca Raton, which is a lot fancier than Key West. Boca Raton. Good morning. Boca Raton. That's why I don't look at the comments, because I can't. I have ADHD. If somebody saying hey to you does not throw you off track, you don't have ADHD, honey. So, Boca Raton is a really nice beach north of here. So it looks like their budget, I'm getting really aggravated because I'm not finding the information that I found last night. So it looks like their budget for this year was $614 million. Now, that is Boca Raton, one of the nicest beaches. It's near like West Palm, all of that. So let's see what their budget was. 614 million. Let's see what their population is. What is the population of Boca Raton? Less than 100,000, but hold on. I need my phone to prove a point, but it's fine. I found all this awesome shit, actual tax records and everything. Like, well, it was records. It was budget records from the cities. And now I can't find shit this morning. I swear to God, it's the Apple phone, because when I'm on that phone, everything pulls up for me. But when I'm on this phone, it does not. What I'm trying to explain is the budget that they have here is the budget that you would see in a large city like Atlanta, Charlotte, North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, large cities where we're talking about anywhere from 300,000 to almost 1 million people. That is the budget that Key West, Florida received this year for 12,000 residents. If they only have, and the reason I keep bringing up the population, because if they only have 12,000 residents, you guys, that means that they're city workers. They don't have many. Their police department is going to be smaller. All of these, everything that the budget would go to pay for would be smaller. And the infrastructure is trash, along with the roads. So where is this money going? Your overhead cost is essentially non-existent because of tourism. You're making billions a year on tourism, but your budget is that of a major city with the population of 500,000 people. Y'all, something ain't right here in Key Largo. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what the fuck is going on down here, but that budget screams fraud. Hold on. Boca Raton has almost, what is that, like 60-80% less the population, and their budget was smaller than Key Largo? No, Boca Raton has 60 to 70% more. You see what I'm saying? Boca Raton has 100,000 fucking people. They only have 12,000 citizens here. So like 88% more population in a city that has a smaller fucking budget. Where's the money, Key Largo? Every city that I looked into had a smaller budget with like way more people. It doesn't make sense. And where's the tourism money going? These billions that they're making down here, where does that money go? Why is that not going back into the infrastructure of the city? Call me crazy, but something ain't right here. And I'm telling you, I don't care if it takes 30 years. There's either something illegal, criminal, going on here financially. I mean, it has to be. I was about to give a second option, but that's the only logical explanation. So, for instance, who is this? Why are these pop-ups, y'all? I get so sick. And everybody's so secretive around here, too. You know, last night was St. Patty's Day. I'm out here on this major highway. Y'all know where we drove out yesterday and there was that reef club out there? Well, last night, this highway was packed to pack to pack, car to car, back to back, going down this highway to that fucking reef club down there. Listen, y'all ain't gonna like what I got to say, but P. Diddy ain't the only one that's a pervert out here. Republicans are subject to perversion too. It's weird. It's weird. Yeah, what's the Reef Club? Great question, Oblivious. Great question. What is that? And why is everybody so secretive around here? You can't even park your car without the cops pulling up and trying to make you leave, trying to intimidate you to get you to leave. Y'all saw that yesterday. Weird. So I'm from a small town, but there's all these other small towns that are around there that are actually big towns, like Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Their budget was $658 million, but $63 million of that was for debt services. Hold on one second. So it's still less. Winston-Salem is still, their budget is still less than Key Largo. What's the population of Winston-Salem, North Carolina? I'd be willing to guess it's like 500,000, but it might be 250,000. So for 250,000 people, their budget is less than for 12,000 residents of Key Largo. I know that money is not going to the citizens. I understand what a budget is. I understand what it's spent on. You're missing the point. It does not take $715 million. The infrastructure, it does not take that much to run an island of 12,000 residents that are bringing in money through tourism. They are fucking rolling in it. So where is it at? Where's the money? Your guess is as good as mine, honey. It's crazy. We got people really struggling, and this is where our money's going, to rich people so they can have an island to themselves to do God knows what. Once again, let's not forget, there's only 2 beaches here. This is an island. You can only access 2 beaches. Yeah, I have to agree, Sean. Probably, because it don't make sense. That budget is that $715 million is a budget that you would see for a city like maybe Tallahassee, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina. That's the budget that you would see for a city that has 250,000 to 1 million people. They don't need that budget here, especially if they're not spending it on the infrastructure, which they're not. Everything is decaying into the fucking ocean. It's crazy. And then everything's so secretive around here. There's all these fences. There's all these fucking... all these weird roads that you can't access. I don't think I've ever been somewhere so weird. Seriously, I didn't remember. First of all, I didn't stay in Key Largo last time. I stayed in Key West. But no, there's no ports on this island. Nope. How much money does Key Largo make off of tourism every year? I want to know how much they made last year. Ding, ding. That's not right. It's billions. Yes. $2.7 billion annually. Ask yourself why probably one of the richest, most profitable beaches in the Americas, why a beach making over $2 billion a year would even need a budget like that. Like somebody's not doing something right. That's all I'm saying. Tourism funnels money into the economy. So somebody ain't doing something right. This is some weird shit, y'all. Like, really, I'm telling you, it might take 30, 40, 50 years, but something is going on here, and somebody gonna go to jail someday. They will. Oh, God, I got a Karen and a Hummer in my face. So I slept here last night, and I just cooked food. Listen to this shit. Tourism and sales related to taxes contribute to $120 million in combined annual tax revenue to the state. So out of the $2.7 billion that the Keys receives from tourism, only $120 million of that is contributed to taxes. I mean, it just don't make sense, y'all. It don't make sense. It's so, first of all, if you want to access a beach, you have to like pay to go snorkel, pay to go scuba diving, pay to go get on a jet ski. That's going to run you a few $100s a trip. I was just reading that tourism is a major driver of the Keys economy, but also ocean recreation and tourism support over 33,000 jobs in the Florida Keys. Where do these people live? Y'all, when are we going to stop trusting Wiki and Google? Because I think, like, we need to stop trusting them. What's the population of Key Largo? 12,000. So how does this one company employ 33,000 employees in the Keys if the population is only 12,000? Let me tell you something. These islands are hours apart. It would be impossible for you to drive to Key West and back to Miami or Homestead every day for fucking work. It would kill you. So, but the last article I just read said that tourism supports over 33,000 jobs in the Florida Keys. Listen. Whatever. The numbers don't, the math ain't mathing. 12,000 residents, 33,000 jobs here. Where do all these people go? They just take a plane home at the end of the night? Like, probably. I'm joking. It don't make sense. See, and this is no way. There's no fucking way they lied. So it says that Marathon, which is an island off of the Keys, it says that Marathon contributes to 21% of, you know, I guess they contribute money. It says other key contributions. Marathon, 21%. They contribute 517 million. Esmeralda contributes 12% at 291 million. And the lower Keys, get this, the lower Keys contribute 8%. Bullshit. If anybody has ever been to the fucking Keys, you know that Key West is where it's fucking popping. So how are they making less money than places like fucking Marathon, where there's nobody and nothing to do? Y'all, these numbers, I don't understand. That's the money that they contributed, I guess, to the government. It doesn't make sense. There's no fucking way. There is nothing in Marathon. You have to go to Key Largo or Key West. I mean, there's a few things in Marathon, but it's not Key West. And they're saying that Key West, the lower Keys, which would be Key Largo, Key West, that they only contribute 8% in comparison to Marathon 21. It doesn't make sense. There's no fucking way. Key West. So here's a new number from December. This makes sense. This is why I don't trust Google. Look, AI generated. That's why you don't trust it. This is from Road Genius. Key West contributed 44%, 1.1 billion. Marathon contributed 21%, 517 million. And Key Largo, see how I did that? So right here, they have the numbers all jumbled up. I scroll down and find the actual numbers. I knew for a fact that Key West and Key Largo were the money makers of these fucking islands. And there it is in writing. The fucking AI generated bullshit had it all fucking scrambled up. There's no way. I knew that Key West was the moneymaker of these islands. And that's what it says. They contribute 44%, 1.1 billion. Key Largo contributed 417 million, 17%. So I guess in some way, I guess because it's all Florida, they are connected in a sense, but they are different counties with different budgets and different ways that they spend the budgets. I just don't understand why this place looks like a shithole, and they are generating billions of dollars in tourism. They have one of the largest budgets that I've been able to find as far as population. It doesn't make sense. And even a beach like Boca Raton that has almost, what is that? Like I said, 88% more people. Their budget was lower than Key Largo. What's going on this morning? Let me think. So it looks like West Palm Beach, their budget was $787,000, which is a little bit more than Key Largo. What's the population of West Palm Beach? 124,000 residents. So approximately 125 to a quarter of a million people budget, and they only have 12,000 residents. But they bring in $2.7 billion worth of tourism every year. But the island is in shambles. You can't access none of the beaches, and it seems like the elites run most of the fucking island while everything erodes off into the sea. It doesn't make sense. Where is all this money going? Why is there missing money in Key Largo, government money? Worth a shot. So there's a whole term called missing money in Key Largo. Cannot make this shit up. It's called unclaimed. It refers to unclaimed property. And that's dormant bank accounts, unclaimed insurance proceedings, stocks, and other assets that have been left unclaimed or abandoned by their owners. So y'all are making billions of dollars in tourism. Y'all are claiming dead people's shit. And your budget is the budget that we would see in a city with 100,000 to a quarter of a million people. That's crazy. So they got a $48.7 million increase from 2025. So I was right. This is astronomical. The question is why? In 2025, Key Largo, as part of Monroe County, approved a $715.7 million budget, a $48 million increase from the previous year. Focusing on public safety, infrastructure, resilience, while keeping property taxes low. Bullshit. Everything that I just read off of that fucking list is in goddamn shambles on this island. Bullshit. Infrastructure. How many times have I said that this morning? Public safety. County of Commissioners. When was this? Well, ask me in like a year if this was the moment that I decided I was no longer a Republican, because I'm completely surrounded by Republicans that are running this island. You know, I'm always subject to change. If there's too much evil around me, I just don't even want to be a part of any party. I'll have to be an independent, start my own party. The common sense of America. Independence. Like, seriously, this is ridiculous. These are all Republicans. I just want to be clear. Everybody that lives on this island is a fucking Republican, and they're rich. Filthy rich. And they don't need this kind of budget. There's cities with people dying, or veterans sleeping on the streets, or elderly. They don't need no budget like this. This is a budget that we would see in a city that has major issues. They don't have any issues here. There's no crime. There's no drugs. There's no homeless people here. None. I mean, like, literally none. But public safety, right? They need that money for public safety when they don't have no crime. Make it make sense. Like, you can't make this shit up. This is probably, oh, here she comes. She had to park her car and come running by me. Freaking, she probably lives around here, and she's probably wondering what I'm doing. Because, you know, people just, how many times have we been through this? Remember when we were at Desto Beach and the lady rolls up and she's like, she rolls her window down and I'm cooking on the tailgate of the truck, and I'm like, I stood there and she's like, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, are you? Like, she's like, oh, I'm just checking on you. Bitch, I'm cooking. You see I'm cooking. You just roll up to be nosy. Imagine not having anything to do in life but worry about some fucking girl. Weird. So weird. So anyways, I'm waiting for these pop-ups to disappear. So this was recent. They recently approved this budget. I guess it was fucking Google. No, this was last year in September. The way it's wrote, it seems recent. So they got a $48 million increase from the previous year of $700, and the total is $715 million. Non-homestead residential properties with an average taxable value of almost to $1 million make up 59% of the taxable value. Non-homestead properties would see a $17 per month increase. Non-homestead properties would see a 17-month. If they got $1 million house and a second house and a third house and a fourth house, that 17 needs to be 1,700. That $17 just turned into 1,700. How about that? We literally are in the middle of a housing crisis, and when I go to these islands, guess what I see? Empty mansions everywhere. You know another island that's like Key Largo that's empty? All the houses are empty because they're just spare homes. Imagine being so rich. You just got spare homes all over the country. Talk about being ungrateful. First of all, wasteful, gluttonous, you're going to hell. Amelia Island, Sullivan's Island. I do believe that one of them is in Jacksonville and the other one is in Charleston. I can't remember. I've been a lot of places. I forget. I need a board back there where we can pin shit. Both of those islands, I would say 50 to 70% of the island is non-existent. No, the people that own the homes on those two islands, they're never there. The houses are completely empty. No furniture, no doormats, no nothing. The islands are completely empty. It's crazy. Those are all spare homes. And we're in a home shortage right now. Like, people need houses for their children, for their families to survive. And all of the elites, all these big corporations, they own them. How much of it, hold on one second. How much of the housing market do large corporations own in America? I think it's like 60, 70%. This AI generated bullshit. Hold on one second. I gotta go look on my own. They own a huge chunk. I thought it was like 60, 70%, but we're about to see. I'm glad that it's warming up because it was chilly this morning. It was like 60, which is not that bad, but it's still. Oh, you too, Andrea. Good luck at work today. Good morning, y'all. Sorry, I'm not trying to ignore y'all. I just have to like stay on track. So BlackRock. Yeah, but they're in over their head now. Now they're damn dropping the prices on these pieces of shit houses and trying to get rid of them because they done damn spent all their money. I mean, these corporations are about to go out of business. The housing market is about to fucking crash again. I mean, shit's not good, y'all. It's not good. As much as everybody wants to say, oh, yay, Trump's in office, things are good. It's not true. And you know, it's so crazy because when I'm trying to learn about stuff, I can see how Google ties in with these large corporations. Google it right now, and I asked, how much of the housing market does BlackRock own? Google says, well, technically, BlackRock doesn't own anything personally. They beat around the fucking bush. BlackRock, while a major player in the global investment landscape, does not directly own a significant percentage of single-family homes in the U.S. That is bullshit. Blatant bullshit. It is an investment group that absolutely owns a good portion of homes in America, and I would be willing to bet probably around 25%. Hold on. According to Fennel, BlackRock Incorporated has filed a SC 13GA form with the Securities and Exchange Commission disclosing ownership of over 62 million shares of Invitation Homes. This represents 10% ownership of the company. I don't believe it. I think that it's way much more than that. But anyways, that's who owns America. One of the companies. There's multiple companies, investment groups that own houses like that, and then they jack the rent up, and people can't afford it, and they get displaced. They have to move out of their home, you know, and they become homeless. And then they go to the government, and the government says, oh, your skin isn't dark enough, we can't help you. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's crazy. Let's see here. What are the largest investment groups in America that own homes, single-family homes? Invitation Homes, which is so here's how they're doing it. Google says, no, Invitation Homes owns all of these single-family homes. But Blackstone, what is it called? Blackstone? What was the other one? BlackRock. BlackRock owns... No, Invitation Homes is owned by Blackstone Group. American Homes for Rent, Zillow Group, and Progress Residential. Google, I just get so aggravated with Google because it's just fucking lies after lies after lies. Every article I'm clicking on is a fucking lie. They just push whatever fucking narrative because they're in on it. You have to be. Why would you cover for somebody starving people? Why would you cover for somebody that is keeping people homeless? Why would you have the back of somebody that is out here doing the devil's work? Unless you're complicit. And maybe you got some skin in the game. You really have to ask these questions when dealing with Google, y'all. And that's who I work for. But I'm here to tell you that one way or another, I'll have a platform. So if they want to take my platform, I'll just go elsewhere. And I'll probably be valued better because I see things for what they are. Google and Wiki are so discredited, they need to be taken off the web. We gave Google free reign, and Google is part of the reason that there's people out here that think that they're cats now. Google is a huge problem. And everything you read on Wiki has an agenda to push your mind in a different direction. The amount of lies that I found on Wiki and Google over the years is unbelievable. It ought to be illegal to do the shit that they do. And I know one day it will be. In some form, it will be illegal to push the narrative and to brainwash people into believing lies. BlackRock, Blackstone, they're both horrible companies. I don't care what Google wants to say about them. The truth is I know what I know. And I know that these investment groups own a majority of homes in America. And what isn't owned by Americans is owned by the fucking elites. Yeah, and they're just sitting vacant on all of these islands in the South. I'm sorry, let me back up. From Wilmington, North Carolina, all the way down the coast to the Keys of Florida, there are more houses empty sitting on the islands than there are residents living in the houses. 100%. The rich people are running America, and a lot of them down here in the South are Republicans. %. Let's not forget that the couple that tried to sex traffic me were Republicans. Remember, those were Republicans coming in from the House of, what is that called? House of Representatives. Yeah, so let's not forget, evil's on both sides. Evil is on both sides. Let me make sure I got my stove and we're going to skate. Hold on, wait a minute. Side note. Mental excursion. Who approves the city budget? Is it like the town? Who approves Key Largo's city budget? The county commissioners. Okay, well, who's on the county of commissioners? County of Commissioners, Key Largo. Me too, Novus. No shit. No shit. Board of Commissioners. I wish I had my other phone because I have such good stuff on there that I'm probably forgetting because it was last night when I stayed up for hours researching this. I was like, what is going on? This don't even make sense. Listen, I was not a very smart woman, but I can do some basic math. And with a 12,000 populace and a budget like that, what are y'all planning to build? Listen, I heard, and I got to find that. Don't let me forget about the Disney thing because I read an article that said that something about Disney here. So, I'm trying to see who's on the board of county commissioners. Key Largo. Here we go. So we got Jim Skoll, Mayor Pro Tem Michelle Lincoln, and Commissioner Holly Merrill, and some dude named Craig Cates and David Rice. Hold on one second. So the mayor is Jim Skoll. Mayor Pro Tem is Michelle Lincoln, and commissioners are Holly Merrill, Craig Cates, and David Rice. I want to know more about all these people now. What was I about to do? Disney. Let's look into Disney. Key Largo deal with Disney. I'm telling y'all, if they freaking do some shit like that, it'll ruin this area. I mean, it's already ruined. No. What the fuck, Google? They just change your words. I've typed it right. That's what I was looking for. You just don't want to pull it up because you work for the devil. Sorry. I fucking hate Google. So it looks like there's a Disney Old Key West resort, a Disney Vacation Club. Hold on. That's no. That's not here. No, there's no kind of Disney stuff here, but hold on. Oh, God, the questions. My Google don't work fast enough either. I got more questions than I can even damn type in here and wait for it to pop up. I got like thousands in my head right now. It makes me so frustrated. I don't care if they had to build a new bridge from Key West to Key Largo. That budget should not be that high. It's crazy. $715 million. But this would explain why they're so secretive if there's something going on. This is exactly why law enforcement acts the way that they do. You know what I mean? So I'm not seeing a deal with Disney, but I did see something on my phone last night. I don't know for sure what's going on with that. I could have swore that I read something about Ron approving something for Disney, but that might have been up in Orlando. Because that's where the Disney place is, isn't it? It said something about Orlando. They have a resort. Oh, Lord. Severe storms. Girl, are you... Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Oh, God. People just really, I'm grateful. Listen, well, we always say, be grateful you woke up you today because you could be dumb like that heifer. Bless their hearts. Let's see here. I just feel like when you're dealing with a population of 60% living well above the means, that when you're dealing with a city like that is ultra rich, I feel like it should be their responsibility. If you got enough money to have 2 or 3 fucking houses, you got enough money to pave your own fucking driveway. That's all I'm saying. And they should absolutely be taxed more. Probably way more than what they are now. Because anybody that's got that much money has been doing some crooked shit. And it's the truth. You don't become a billionaire like that by not fucking over people. Quite the opposite. You get good at fucking over people, and that's how you keep making more money. So the only thing I'm seeing about infrastructure is that they designated $21 million for some kind of flooding. Everywhere in Florida floods. Newsflash, Jacksonville, whole roads disappear in northern Jacksonville. You know where else floods? The mountains of North Carolina, where there's not even a fucking ocean. Everywhere fucking floods. Why did these people get $21 million? Because their fucking $1 million neighborhood roads are flooding. That sounds like a personal problem. Y'all live in HOA. Why ain't the HOA gonna fix it? Call me crazy, but I just don't think that taxpayer money should go to help rich people. Plain and simple. They get enough tax breaks. They get enough write-offs. They got multiple fucking houses. Y'all vote in Trump because y'all hate the elites. Oh, newsflash. Newsflash. The elites are on both sides. The elites are on both sides. Y'all vote Trump in. Thank God. But it's the same behavior. And it's even getting worse. They upped that budget $48 million after he was thrown into office. So the corruption just switched sides. At least in Key Largo. $21 million my ass. Listen, my dad poured concrete for a living. I'm pretty sure if I called that son of a bitch up and was like, hey, does this even make sense? I'm pretty sure he'd be like, fuck no. For some flooding. Let's see where what was that? Twin what? Sounds bougie. Twin Lakes. Let's see where that is. Because that's $21 million going to prevent flooding in Twin Lakes. It's not even pulling up. Here we go. It's a condominium. And listen, I don't feel bad for people that want to fit in with the cool kids and buy land right on the fucking ocean. What do you think's going to happen, Karen? Do you not know what erosion is? That's some rich people dumb shit. So this is Twin Lakes. Exactly, Lisa. Exactly. There's still people sleeping on tents. They had to go through the harsh ass winter, cold as hell, sleeping on tents. There was a child that died. And these rich people out here. Let me show you the houses again. First of all, I want to be clear. These are condominiums. $1 million condominiums, oceanfront property. And these people's roads not flooding is more important than the people of Western North Carolina or the people in Hialeah. Their whole fucking island burned. And listen, I really have no sympathy for California, but even Californians have been through it. But we're spending our money to make sure that rich people don't get their tires wet when it rains. Cut me a fucking break. That's a $21 million contract to prevent the roads from flooding. I just want to strangle people. This is so stupid. These people have more money than you and I could ever even fathom. But our tax dollars are going to wipe their asses for them. I just think that this money could have went towards something that was beneficial for the actual people of America. Because, in my opinion, when you're an elite, you really don't understand the West like normal people do. You have money, you have resources, you're living in a whole nother fucking world. So, I feel like the citizens need to come before the elites, the illegals. It's just crazy. And I'm telling you right now, something is not right with this money. I don't care what they say that they're using the money on. The fucking everything's falling apart. Do we need to go see? Can you want me to go show you? I can. Let me know. We can drive up and down the strip. I'll show you that this place is a shithole. And they have been receiving this money every year consecutively for years. This year, they got a $48 million bonus. Where is this money going? They say it's for the infrastructure, but everything is rotting off into the sea. So that is a lie. They say it's for public safety, but there is no crime. There is no drugs. There is no homelessness here. So that's a lie. Where is this money going? It's not going back into infrastructure. It's not going into public safety. It's not going into roads and bridges. And they've been doing this for years. For years. And this is a Republican-ran state. So it's the same shit that they did in California, just a little different, in my opinion. It's crazy. I just ignore the haters, you know? Like, you just can't. There is no welfare here. You're not listening. If there's no drugs, if there's no crime, and there's no homeless people, they don't even know, honey. There's none of that here. It's not welfare. And if it were, it would be going to people from South America and Mexico, because that's who works here. Let me tell you the demographic. All the white people are rich, and all of the people that work in the shops are either Spanish, Hispanic, Latino of some descent, or South American, or whatever. Colombian, Cuban. You see a lot of different races here, but it's all minimum workers, minimum wage workers. You go into the grocery stores here, you go in the gas station, it's all immigrants, but it's all white people out spending the money, living their best life. So they have a system here. I get it. I see it. I'm observant, but it's just crazy because they don't have crime here. They don't have poverty here. They don't have drugs here. It just doesn't make any sense. Something is going on here, and I don't know what, but I'm pretty sure if I start looking into those commissioners, I could maybe take a wild guess. I just need to look into their careers. Let's start with the mayor. The mayor of Key Largo. What was his name? Her name's Skulls. Don't worry, I took a screenshot. So the mayor is Jim Scholl. Let's see about Jim. Who are you, Jim? And that is School. Oh, God. You know, I might just not never find any place that I'm happy. I might just have to move to Arizona out in the desert by myself and live off of lizards and somehow figure out how to consume cacti to survive, because I'm just so disappointed. Like, why didn't nobody tell me when I was a child that the world was just as corrupt as high school? It's like, you leave high school and you're like, oh, we're going to go be adults. Everybody's going to act mature now. And then... And then it's like, what the fuck? The adult world is 1 million times worse than high school or anything else. Like the corruption and the evil and just the bullshit. Nobody told me. I just found this out like 5 years ago when I got sober, okay? So I had no clue. I was living in my own world. So Ron DeSantis appointed Jim in 22. So it looks like Jim, who is the mayor. Listen, y'all, I ain't trying to pick on people. Going back to what I said, I profile people. That's what I do. So he looks like he served as the city of Key West city manager from 2007 to 2012, and then again from 2014 to 2019. So they were prepping him. They were brainwashing him. I'm joking. A person's career tells you a lot about them. That's all I'm saying. You can actually hone in on some things from their career. So he's a Navy veteran and a commanding officer of the Naval Air Station in Key West from 2003 to 2006. So he was at the Naval Air Station before he was serving as the city of Key West's manager. He is a Sunrise Rotary Club of Key West and Key West Military Affairs Committee member and past president of the board of directors of Shingby's Charter School. He went to school for fucking zoology and y'all elect him mayor? I mean, I guess he was in the Navy, but that don't really tell me much. Let's go see what his problems are. So he's a 21-year resident of Key West and the Lower Keys. So what are you telling me? He owns multiple houses on both islands? Probably. So it looks like DeSantis appointed him. And we all know, listen, we learned a lot during the election. I had a lot of faith in Ron DeSantis, but Ron DeSantis is not where we thought he was mentally. And it showed during the debates. It showed during the, I own property in North Carolina. I have a land and house. Thank you. So he was, I'm going to cut these off, y'all, because I'm so tired of the negativity. I just don't even want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Not worth my time. So thank you to the people that actually support me. I'm not listening to the negative shit, though. Let's see. Jim Scholes. They're saying he's the only mayor of Key West that has not been fired. Why were all the other mayors fired, you may ask? Great question. Google's not working quick enough for me. I knew it. Something's been going on here. God. I'm just saying I would not want to be... Y'all can't see his face. Y'all can't see his face. He has this demonic... His eyebrows. He looks like Hunter Biden, but worse. He's the only two-term city manager. First of all, Felix Cooper was named the city manager here in 1990 of Key Largo. He served for 6 years and was by most accounts an okay manager. Early in 1996, he announced that he would be retiring when his contract expired the following May. The city commission launched a search for a replacement, and by February, 170 applications have been received. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. Hold on. During an interview, he said that in his opinion, none of the local candidates were qualified to step into the city management position. Paul Cates. Wasn't that on that list? In context, he seemed to be referring to Paul Cates, who was the apparent front runner for the job. Hold on. Ain't Paul Cates on the city of commissioner? No, that's Craig Cates. Shit. Anyways. Blah, 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 blah. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's not going to tell me anything dirty because anything that I need to know, Google won't say. Because they cover up everything. Hold on. Listen to this. So I can't find anything out about this guy, which is even weirder because everybody has a past and everybody's been through shit. The fact that the media covers up this shit leaves me even more suspicion about who this person is. So it looks like there was an article that came out in January of 2018. Key West Oversight Homeless Shelter is deteriorating, but remains safe and clean for men and women who have no other place to sleep. That was in 2018. Since then, they don't even have a homeless population. They either lock them up or they run them off the island. As a matter of fact, I have people that have told me that they will just see them, kick them out the car in a whole nother county. And I believe that. I believe that because I know how they treat me and I know how they've treated me in the past. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Doesn't make sense. There's probably something super fishy going on, and I have no doubt that we'll probably be hearing Jim's name in the fucking news for some bullshit eventually. Because the numbers don't math. Meryl. There it is. So this girl that's on the County of Commissioners here in Key Largo was actually in the House of Representatives for Florida prior. She's a Republican. There's nothing on her other than a day in the life with her. So you can go watch her put on makeup and drink lattes, but there's nothing. Oh God, you cannot make this shit up. There's nothing positive, like, you know what I mean, like actual like information, and just her career stuff, which is irrelevant. In 2019, they had a homeless population of 235 people. I would be willing to bet that now it's less than 50 people. I haven't seen but one homeless person, and he was on the beach and he was actually working. And that's probably why they let him stay around here, because he's good for tourism. He makes these like hats out of bamboo or something. And so that's the only homeless person I saw. And they only had 235 of them in 2019 or 2018, 2019. So they've ran them all off. Hold on. There's an island at the top of the Keys that no one knows about. Hold on. Where all the homeless people live. Wisteria Island. No one can agree on who owns it. Now, I don't know if this is true. Take it with a grain of salt because it is Reddit. But it's been determined by a federal judge that since it's not a natural island and was created by Navy dredging, that it's federal government property. No, it's not. It's God's property. Let's not forget that all of this is irrelevant. The government, who owns what, irrelevant. Nobody owns shit. I don't own shit. You don't own shit. We don't own shit. And even if you did actually physically own something, it's irrelevant. The purpose is not about this life. The whole purpose we're here is about the next life. Anything here is irrelevant. It's just really sad that these homeless people, I don't know, I can't get a story. Yeah, exactly. Lots of homeless people living on boats around Florida. Yeah, but I'm talking about the Keys, my friend. There's no homeless people here. nor is there drugs or crime, which I guess is good, but like, there comes a point where the law can break the law. They do it all the time. And when you're telling people that they can't live somewhere because they don't make enough fucking money to just survive, that's ethically wrong. And that's what they do here. They have priced people out. They have run people off. And there's a culture of not welcoming outsiders. And I could see why they didn't want to welcome me, because I always find out the fucking tea. It's called Wisteria Island, and there's homeless people all over it, it appears. It looks like there's boats docked all over it. And it is a federally owned island. Of course it is. Everything's fucking federally owned. It's bullshit. This is a lie. This is a fucking lie. The question is there homeless people in Key West? On any given day in Maroon County, there are men, women, and children who are homeless. I bet you money if I went to go search this island right now for a homeless person, I wouldn't be able to find one. Fucking hate Google. I'm over Google. Let's go skate. Because Google's going to piss me off and put me in a bad mood because they lie so bad. Everything you read on Google is a lie. I would say 90%. It's a shame. And they're bought and paid for. They have a narrative and they stick to it, honey. Anything that is leftist propaganda, they are going to back up and spit in your face. It's just crazy. I don't think I realized that it was this bad until recently. It's part of the reason that I haven't been making content pertaining to stuff, because you can't find no information. You go to dig and it doesn't exist. I don't know how many times I have to reiterate that I owned a home and land, but I get sick of repeating myself. So for those that don't know, I actually had about $250,000 worth of assets stolen from me. But don't worry, I'm working on it. Like I said, I don't care if it takes 30 years, I'll get my property back. The reason I talk about these things is to share the importance of never trusting anyone, even somebody that you thought was family. But you know, everything happens for a reason, because if that wouldn't have happened, I would be still trapped in an abusive, sexually tormented relationship with a family member that was supposed to be my family, that sexually abused me from a child into adulthood and kidnapped me for 20 years, over 20 years. I didn't think I needed to reiterate that again, but here we are. Same shit, different day. Same idiots, same stupidity. I can assure you, if somebody stole all of your money and your land, you'd be just as pissed as I am. Maybe not. A lot of motherfuckers ain't got no backbone. Maybe not. A lot of you motherfuckers are the type to be like, sure, take it, whatever you need. Da, 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 da. Rate me some more. I'm gonna put you over here. Why does one day it won't work and then the next day it's a piece of shit? So it seems like they have built a culture of elites here. And it's probably been going on for decades. This is where all the rich Republicans live. You know that 1% that y'all hate so much? This is where they are, baby. This is where they hide. The Democrats got California and the Republicans got Florida. Makes perfect fucking sense. I don't make the rules. I just follow the stats. sickening. It's sickening. And here I am thinking that the fucking Republican Party was the lesser of the two evils. And boom, I land up here. I land here. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, the Democrats are perverts. But the Republicans are fucking greedy. Not the pot calling the kettle black. Yeah, they might abuse children, but you abuse everybody else. So y'all just as bad. Horrible. Freaking park. I keep slowing down. It's just a long fenced in road. This is part of that land that you can't access. How weird. Imagine an island 360 and you can't even access none of the beaches because all the Republicans own all the fucking land and their mansions set on it by the bayside. Imagine. Y'all, I really despise rich people. I really do. I think that it's like the people that I despise the most. Because mentally, I could never put myself in the shoes to have that much money and not help people. I would go broke helping others. And so I can't conceptualize how you're a good person, but you just milk the system more. That makes you evil. Whatever. Call me crazy. I gotta get my skates. You know what? I almost want to take this a step farther. Hold on one second. Let's call the homeless shelter. You want to? Let's see how many homeless people. From 2019, they had 235 homeless people. I'm willing to bet that that number is less than 30 people now. All the rich people don't run all the homeless off. Listen, I'm just saying it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's the same thing they did to blacks with land and everything else. Manhattan Beach, hello. The white people wanted to capitalize on Manhattan Beach in Jacksonville, Florida. So the city stole the fucking land from the black people and they capitalized on it. Wrong is wrong, right is right. Just because you have money and it hurts you to see homeless people, you don't get to run those people off. That makes you a piece of shit, Karen. A heartless piece of shit. Homeless shelter. They don't even... I'm just saying, listen, I know that the homeless cause a lot of problems, but I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate for people that have been disproportionately treated like shit their whole fucking life. Statistically speaking, most people that are homeless are struggling with something, usually trauma, mental health problems, drug addiction. You don't just kick those people off the fucking island. It's wrong. No. I put in homeless shelter and the Animal Humane Society come up. So they don't even have a homeless shelter here anymore. But in 2019 they did. Let me just verify that. Where's the homeless shelter in Key Largo? Animal Humane Society. One second. Findhelp.org. This looks like some bullshit. Y'all, I gotta pee. I just woke up. I forgot. The gas station's right there. Hold on. There's no homeless shelter. So, but, wouldn't the budget be, wouldn't the budget that they receive, wouldn't that money go towards the homeless or homeless services? So it looks like they have some kind of organization. It's called the Coalition for Homeless Outreach Program. It's not a shelter. It's not housing. It's not anything to help the homeless. So what? Those 235 people that were here in 2019, they ran them off, took them to jail, send them to prison, and then they get them to relocate to another city where it's that city's problem to deal with them. Let's go to the bathroom real quick. I'm still waiting for the shit to come up. I'm so sick of this phone. I might grab a caffeine or something while I'm in a caffeine. I'm gonna grab a caffeine, a whole damn bottle of it, and chug it till I never sleep again. I'm joking. The Florida, oh, I found it. So it's some kind of outreach, outpatient program for people who are facing homelessness. It's not a homeless shelter, but wouldn't you think the budget of $715 million, they could spend $1 million on helping people that are homeless? No, they decide to just kick them off the fucking island or take them to jail. I don't understand, listen, I don't understand when society got to be so fucking heartless. These are our brothers and sisters. And I'm not talking about me. I'm not saying this because of me. I'm talking about this because there are people that have it a lot fucking worse than me. A lot fucking worse. And I care about those fucking people because nobody, it doesn't seem like anybody ever has. And it pisses me off. Because that might be me one day. These fucking rich people get to just take over this goddamn island and keep it to their fucking selves to be perverts on. I know it for a fact. I have firsthand experience with House of Representative Republicans. 3 of them. I'm sorry, 5 of them. They were all perverts. The only 5 House of Representatives that I've ever met in my life, all 5 were sex traffickers. So don't tell me that I'm crazy. Nothing is wrong with me. Other than, getting traumatized by 5 sex traffickers. So it looks like officer... When was this written? So it looks like the FKOC. Hold on one second. Where is the FKOC? FKOC. So it's the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition, and it's 100 miles away from here. How do you think they can help anybody in Key Largo if they're 100 miles away from here? This is probably the scheme. Oh, we have an organization, but you'll have to leave. 2 hours and 35 minutes to be exact. Where is that? So it's all the way down in Key West. Let's call them. Hold on one second. Shit. I want to put it on the Bluetooth so you can hear it. Let's call them and ask some questions. Let me think real quick. I want to have a list. Where's a pen? Can you tell me about your program? Thank you to all the people that were rude to me here. You're helping me make content. I'm wondering why y'all are so fucking secretive and rich around here. Weird. You would think that rich people would be some of the nicest, right? They don't really have a lot of problems like you and I, you know, like being homeless or hungry or going without a shower. I'm not saying they don't have problems, but they ain't got problems like me and you got problems, honey. We one damn paycheck away from the grave because we're going to have a fucking stroke from the stress. It's so true, though. It's so true. All right, let's pair this. Oh, actually, I'm going to turn this back on because I want to ask some of my regular followers. Do you guys know any questions? Can y'all think of anything that I should ask? I should have just put subscribers. It's my fault. Can y'all think of anything I should ask this homeless shelter that's down in the Keys? I don't know if they can disclose, like, how many patients they can, or patients, how many, what would you call that? I guess it would be patients. They're seeking care of some sort. So, how many patients? Or what's the homeless pop? I'm just going to be like, I don't know. What if how many beds do they have? That's a great one. Wow. That's a good one. Let's see, hold on one second, if they got a website on their thing. So it looks like it's the fkoc.org is their website. So it looks like they got a section for homeless prevention, food pantry. Y'all, I used to read stuff like this and I used to believe it. Let me read this to you. The FKOC understands that there are many unique cases of homelessness. Hold on, that's not what I was trying to read. The FKOC works diligently to reduce the barriers to service and create housing environments that focus on helping individuals and families reach personal stability and financial independence. The FKOC shelter programs offer a progressive approach that allows residents to build personal responsibility from their recovery from homelessness. Only a seasoned vet would be able to read through all of that to see it for what it is. That's what they claim to do. I wonder how they're funded. Hold on. That's what they claim to do. So it looks like it's a facility with a bunch of bunk beds and a locker, which would be, you know, that would be great. That's like a hostel situation. Stuff like that, you know. I don't think that that's a bad setup. Hold on one second. So it looks like that's the building. It looks like it could probably house, I don't know, I would say maybe 60 to 80 patients, but I don't know how many rooms there is. And like, that's a big facility. And they've got bunk beds. So for every one person, you actually have two because they're stacked on top of each other. So that 4-bedroom or that 4-person room just become an 8-person room. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. Oh my God, the reviews. Ferry source code said they almost cost a guy his life because they threatened to throw him out instead. What? I'm so confused. The 4-time felon I have no, y'all, I don't know if this person's on drugs or what. It says, I'm just going to read it like it is. Maybe you can decipher it. They almost cost a guy his life because they threatened to throw him out. Instead, the fourth-time felon who was so criminal he needed a diaper. And then I find who's stealing the meds only for them to totally throw out the law and get caught stalking twice, lied about. Y'all, I think this person is on drugs. I can't even, it's that bad. I thought that it was like a review. It sounds like somebody was pissed. I don't know. Anyways, let's see here. Who funds the FKOC in the Keys? They get federal funding and they're not even fucking helping the homeless. Ding, 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 ding. I just want to, like, seriously, this is so fucking unbelievable. You're getting federal funding for homeless people, but you don't have no homeless people. And matter of fact, when you do get one or two, you run them off the fucking island. Oh, sorry. Good morning, Danielle and everybody. $14 million federal funding contract for Monroe County for the homeless. But there's no homeless. I told y'all, these motherfuckers are something illegal's going on. Hold on one second. State, local, and federal grants. And you best believe they get large donations from all of these rich people that want to feel like they're contributing to something. Florida's Keys Outreach Coalition and Cornerstone Resource Alliance address homelessness, primarily funded by a combination of local, state, and federal grants, foundations, and private donations. What did I say? So they're getting all this money for the homeless people, but there ain't no homeless people. Let's call this number. They might not disclose anything. We'll see.
Thank you for calling the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition. For administrative or financial assistance, press 1. For Nice Men's Emergency Housing, press 2. For Women's Transitional Housing, press 3. For Men's Transitional Housing, press 4.
What if I press 2 and see where it leads me to? They're not going to give me housing, but just to prove a point. Let's see.
Thank you for calling the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition. For administrative or financial
Let's ask what the
assistance,
qualifications
press 1.
are.
For Nice Men's Emergency Housing, press 2. For Women's Transitional... Please hold while we connect you to...
I don't want to do that because I got questions to ask. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make my mind up about how to do this.
Thank you for calling the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition. For administrative or financial assistance, press 1. For Nice Men's Emergency Housing, press 2. For Women's Transitional Housing, press 3. For Men's Transitional Housing, press 4. For Peacock Center, press 5. For Upper Keys Office, press 6. For the operator, press 0. Let me transfer you to the operator.
HFKFC, how can I help you?
Yes, sir. I'm calling because I'm currently writing a paper for school, and I had some questions about you guys' program.
Hold on, let me connect you to someone.
Thank you.
The person you are trying to reach is currently unavailable.
You can't even call and ask motherfucking questions, bitch.
Thank you for calling.
We're going to go to
Florida
upper
Keys
management
Outreach
now,
Coalition.
number 6.
For administrative or financial assistance, press 1. Please wait while your call is being transferred.
Tickles my pink. And this is what happens when you try to get help, too. I just want to be clear. This is not an isolated incident. This is what it's like trying to get help, and they hope that you just turn away and don't even ask for it. They want those donations, and they don't want to have to spend them on the fucking homeless.
The person you are trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the tone.
No, I'm good. How weird. But this is a shelter to help homeless people that receives federal funding. What's the problem? I kind of love that this is on camera right now because I talk about all the time how unsafe the homeless shelter is and how hard it is to get actual resources.
For administrative or financial assistance, press 1. For Nice Men's Emergency Housing,
We'll go to 1.
please hold while we connect you to someone that can help you with financial assistance.
I shouldn't have done that. Financial assistance.
Thank you for calling the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition. For administrative or financial assistance, press 1. For Nice Men's Emergency Housing, press 2. For Women's Transitional Housing, press 3.
We'll go there and see if we
For
can talk
men-
to somebody.
Please hold while we connect you to someone from the Women's Unit.
A 150 people. That shelter houses 150 people, and I can assure you that it's probably set and fucking empty. There it is. So in 2019, they had over 200 people. In 2020, that had dropped from 235 to 164. And and then that dropped to 116. And
We are unable to get to the phone at the moment. Please leave a message and a representative will return your call.
we're going to leave a message. Yes, my name is Brooke, and I'm calling about transitional housing for women. I do not have children, but if you can give me a call back at 3. Genuinely had some questions about you guys' program, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. So, they had hundreds of homeless people back in 2018. It was actually, they considered it a problem, even though they had less than 300 homeless people. That dropped to 164, and then that dropped to 116. And I bet you, like I said, I bet that there's less than 30 homeless people between all of the islands, from Homestead to Key West. I bet that there is maybe And I've only seen one. So I'm just going off of the one person I saw, knowing that there's others in hiding, and how the law enforcement responds to these people in these situations. I would be willing to bet that it's less than 50 people on this island that are between all of the islands. They have slowly but surely gotten rid of their homeless population. Y'all, that is some of the most evilest shit that I've ever heard of. And you call, what was that? What was that center? That's the homeless shelter. That's the homeless shelter. Florida Keys Outreach Coalition that receives millions of dollars in funding, federal funding, millions of dollars in donations that is tax-free. And they're not even helping homeless people. Y'all want to ride over it? Well, it's 2.5 hours away. Never mind, we can't. I mean, I guess we could, but like, I don't feel like it. I got plans today. I doubt those people will even call me. Wasn't it crazy how I said I'm writing a paper for school and I would love to know more about you guys' program? My other line, you want to know my 2 lines? That was my first one. My other one was like, yes, I'm writing, or I was going to say, yes, I'm writing a paper for school and I noticed that your population of homeless have dwindled. That's wonderful. How are you getting these people back up on their feet? We need to know so we can spread the awareness all over America. They lock them up. They send them to prison. They make them leave. It's the most fucked up shit. And that company, that organization is getting millions of dollars, and you know good and well it's not going towards to help homeless people. They just fucking hung up on me 4 times. We hit 4 different buttons. We asked for help. We needed housing. We had questions like nonprofit organization. Crazies. It's fucking crazy, y'all. Fucking crazy. It's fine. People are stupid. Just ignore them. I just ignore them because they're haters. They can't even comprehend what we're talking about. They're so dumb. Their brains are not clicking on all cylinders, and they never will. They are the evil that I talk about in society. All right. Bathroom break and trash break. Imagine working your ass off your whole life, working for everything you got, buying it yourself, and people being jealous of the one thing you have left from your past life. That's the only thing that wasn't stolen from you. And people just want to claim that you're not who you say you are. It's crazy. People are so weird. Jealous. That's what it is. Not cute. Jealousy don't look good on you. It don't look good on nobody. It screams insecurity, incompetence. Jelly peanut butter jelly cup. How did my hair come out looking so good? I don't know. Sometimes I just wake up like this. Not often. Not often. More often than not, I wake up looking like crap. So I'm kind of grateful my hair come out good this morning. We're going to swim today too. We're going to skate at this beautiful, it's a botanical garden. It's got like all this luscious botanical stuff. Not the girl that went to school for horticulture not being able to name any plants. Listen, all I know is it's got them bonsai looking trees and the succulents and the cacti, and it's so pretty. And we're gonna skate, and hopefully the mosquitoes won't be bad, y'all. God, they was so bad last night. I was in here, I killed 2 on the window, and then one was flying around, and I couldn't go to bed until, what did I do? God, that's not me. Then I couldn't go to bed. I hit that damn retouch button all the time. I couldn't go to sleep till he stopped flying. I had to find him and kill him so that I could go to sleep. Y'all, I am seething over this whole homeless thing here. I don't know what it is about white rich people, but they feel like when they buy a house somewhere, they're entitled to run that city the way that they want to. And they don't care if they hurt people in the process. They don't care if children are starving, if people are homeless. They just want them to be out of sight, out of mind. That makes you evil. Like, you are the worst type of human to be behaving like that. Especially when you have resources and money. And I'm sick of it. Not Brooke's boyfriend. Okay. Another bot account. It looks like it. It was made 8 minutes ago, y'all. So weird. I never know what's going on. I wonder how much money in federal funding they get. And what are they doing with it? Because they run the homeless people off or they take them to jail. And where's that money going? The millions in donations that organization is getting. Where is the federal funding going? If there's no homeless here, then what is the money being used for? Y'all, I should have damn been an investigative journalist. I would have never slept. I can't do that. I cannot do that because sometimes I can't stop. I get obsessive. Fucking turn to cocaine just to keep me up so I can get the scoop on a story crazy. You know what I mean? I don't even like uppers. Never did them like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's so weird how looking into the city's budget led to finding out that they're lying about the homeless population and receiving money for the homeless population that doesn't exist. The numbers drop every year. From 2019 to now, the numbers have dwindled. We went from 235 homeless people to next to nothing here. Where are they going? Crazy. I might, one day when we go back to the Keys, I might actually stop by there. Since nobody wants to talk to me on the phone, that's another red flag. We called this organization. It's a nonprofit that's supposed to help homeless people here in the Keys. It doesn't seem like they actually exist. It seems like it might be a cover. We called 3 or 4 times and one guy picked up the phone. He says, yeah, let me transfer you. And it hung up on me. That was intentional. You best believe that was intentional. They don't, it's like the LDS church. They don't, it's like the Church of Scientology. They don't want people creeping around asking fucking questions. I said, hey, yeah, I'm writing a paper for school. I would love to know about your program. Click. I love it when I'm right. I can't help it. I'm just so good at it, you know? It's so fucking true, though. I just have a knack for being able to read situations, man. It's not hard to see that there's missing money all over this fucking island. You take one drive down the strip, and you have brain cells in your head, and you're going to be asking the same questions I am. Where is the money, Ron? I'm sorry, Jim Scholl. That is it. Scholl. That's how you pronounce it. Scholl. Sorry. Scholl. Gotta remember it. Jim Scholl. Yeah. You know, ain't it ironic that he come into power? Hold on. 2019. So there was over 200 people here homeless prior to Jim Scholl, who was the mayor, coming into office. When he come into office, that's when all the homeless people got cleaned up out of here. 2019. Let's not forget, in 2018, there was over 230 people here. And then in 2019, that dwindled down to 164. And then in 2017, that dwindled down to 117. And now I can't get no new numbers. Weird. It's not weird. I know exactly what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. I smell corruption. All right, I need a sweater because it's chilly. It's tad bit nipply. I got my skates on. Here, Becky, hold that. Yes, you with the nice hair. There. Don't be looking at me like that. Sorry, I'm snotting everywhere. Not me. I'm joking. Kinda. I need to brush my teeth. I ain't brushed my teeth all morning. I got bad breath. Come here, give me a kiss. Pucker up. I don't care that I smell like oodles and noodles. You better oodle in your noodle way over here to give me a hug. Where is my toothbrush? Oodle noodle your way over here and kiss me. Shut up and kiss me. Alright. I'm stuck. Y'all want to hear something crazy? I was watching that damn, I ain't gonna be able to remember. Never mind. I swear to God, if CRS was a sport, I would be an Olympic gold medalist. Can't remember shit. I can't even remember the letters in order. Can't shit remember. That's it. So true though. Can't remember shit. Can't shit remember. Alright. Better watch out. These white people call the law on me for brushing my teeth. Sure will. Some petty ass cop that owns $1 million worth of property on this fucking island will come and arrest me. That's how it goes. Story of my life. Never ending bullshit. And I'll be standing there going, you know you're corrupt, right? Oh, like Planet Fitness, remember that? When I called those groomers out on working for a company that grooms children. Remember that? They were so dumb they didn't even know what the fuck I was talking about. Imagine being that dumb that you work for a company, you don't even recognize the behavior that they're complicit in, and you don't realize that you're evil by association, and you're so dumb you just don't even know it. God. And you know the crazy thing is you work for them. So like, you didn't know that their stock, they lost $400 million in a day over gender bull crap? But you work for Planet Fitness. How are you about to be out of a job? Oh, You don't even know it because you're too dumb. I'm sick of people like that. What is that? Nice. Yeah, I think Planet Fitness. I think I said this a year ago. I said they'd be filing for bankruptcy probably by, I think I said 2 years. I give it less than 2 years. So that was October of last year. So we'll see what happens. You would have thought they would have went bankrupt when they lost $400 million overnight, but I reckon not. I bet they received a lot of money because of that, particularly from people that are part of the LGBTQ+, because that's the grounds for them to be predators. You know, old men want to be able to go to the gym and look at little boys. They're willing to damn spend money to be able to do that. Somebody's smoking dope. I don't know what's... Oh, there is a bathroom. I didn't even know that. Well, now I know. Crap, I can't remember a fucking thing. I like that too. Oh, I think I'm running over like these little berries or something. I don't know. It's making like this little popping noise. It sounds like... y'all remember those things that you had as a kid and they'd throw them on the ground and they'd explode? They were like little firecrackers. It sounds like I'm running over thousands of them. Look at this. This is pretty. Oh God, this cement is different. This is that good cement that you just roll through. The other cement is a little more difficult. Did I lock the car, y'all? I don't remember. It's all right. Hey, Eric. I know Miss Burgess. Burgess. I had a friend in school. Her last name was Burgess. She's a great girl. She had some long, beautiful hair. What was her first name? Was it Jessica? It might have been Jessica. She had long, beautiful hair. And unlike most Jessicas, me and that Jessica got along pretty well. I mean, I don't recall us ever killing each other, so, you know, yeah. I mean, if you grew up in the 90s, then you know that we used to just go to the bathroom and fight. Sure did. I'll meet you at the back stall. We'd go, we'd scrap in the bathroom, somebody'd lose, somebody'd win, and it'd be over. I miss those days. There wasn't too many that'd go back there with me, but there was a few boys that went back there. There's a little boy named Tony that snuck back there with me. I didn't start the watch. I stopped so I could start it, and then I forgot. I got sidetracked talking about Jessica. Jessica! Outdoor run. Cute babies. I miss those days. Unknown number. Excuse me. Let's see who this is. Yes, who is this?
And not a charity. Our goal is to elect lawmakers who will support our police officers with more training and life-saving equipment. With that in mind, we'd like to count on you for a non-tax deductible contribution and send you out a return envelope, okay? okay?
Did you hear that? Do they not know? I don't think they know who they're calling. Hold on. They've got to be joking. This is a joke.
Hi, thanks for calling back. It's Robert for the Police Officers Support Committee PAC. We're reaching out to everyone in the area.
That is the funniest thing. That's some sheriff's department wanting a donation from me. I can't give you no donation. I won't give you no donation. But I can look into your sheriff's department to see how many of those people are corrupt. I actually do it for a living. What are the chances? That's crazy. I wish I would donate a penny to any sheriff's department after what they've done to my family and me. Y'all see the butterflies? I just had one roll by me. Sorry, I'm getting it. I don't remember this park being this big. Police Officers of America. Shut up. I'm gonna get a tax-free donation. No. But I'm gonna interrogate all your sheriffs. Go look into all their old cases. Anybody. So that I can get my money. That's why I'm in this situation. So it looks like the road comes to an end. $10%. That's funny. They don't even deserve that. They got a budget. And a bunch of extra money laying around here somewhere. A whole bunch. Probably billions over the past, I don't know, man. Probably billions missing. Don't make any sense. My bitch like a backwood, yo-ho like a swisher. Y'all, these rocks. I like to bust my butt again. The last bruise just went away. It's not the best terrain at all. Y'all want to hear something weird? I think somebody's growing marijuana out here in this botanical garden. Listen. I smell homegrown right now that has not been dried. Don't ask me how I know that. But there was a guy that come out here last night. He sat in his car for like 20 minutes with the windows on, and then he gets out with a pair of gloves and come out to the woods after dark. It was like 8 o'clock at night. and I smell weed, like homegrown, like somebody's got a dispensary or a plant around here somewhere. So weird. This is the perfect place to do it too. Cannabis grows like wildfire in this climate. And smell it in the middle. I bet you I can smell that shit out. Ew, that's crazy. It could be a dead skunk, but I don't even know what they have. It's not a dead skunk. It's wet weed. I know exactly what it is. It's wet weed. It's still alive. It ain't been cut yet. It has a particular smell. It wouldn't surprise me. They probably have a problem with that all over these parks. People pulling up, shoving some seeds in the ground, growing a few plants, walking away and checking on it every few days. Outdoor, yeah, that's what it smells like. That's what it smells like. God, it's hot. So there's only one road in that is paved. The rest of the park is not paved. But you know, the infrastructure, that $750 million is probably going to go to pave these roads. No trash cans. And the honestly, for this to be a botanical garden, it's not that botanical, babe. Where do you see anything that's blooming, anything that's... It's spring in South Florida. Where's the botanical? The grounds are not even kept. I'm just saying, I notice things when I go places, okay? Maybe this is why some of them park workers are being laid off. Because look at these grounds. I know if I worked here, that flower bed would be shoved with flowers and beautiful botanicals. Because it's a botanical garden. Does that look like it's even been upkept? Ladies that garden, please let me know if I'm wrong. Don't that look like crap? The money's going to the infrastructure, parks and rec. Okay. It's gonna go to fix the roads from flooding. Right here. This would be the perfect spot too, because this is like a mile marker. Otherwise, that way and this way, there's not any landmarks. You'd have to make a landmark to remember where you planted it. Same thing that way. But right here where it stinks, like weed, is a perfect landmark. Oh, look, a trail. That's definitely a trail. Look at the sediment moved. You can see somebody's been walking through here. Now, it might just be one of the walking trout. No, all of the trails have trailheads on them. Somebody's definitely, you see how the leaves have not fallen on that spot? And it's more bare here. Like somebody's been walking through here. Can y'all see that? Do y'all see what I'm talking about? Weird. I don't smell it right here though. But I could be like, oh my God, the skeeters. I could be like upwind and not downwind now. Weird. I wouldn't mind coming hiking out here, but that's not a trailhead. The trailheads have like little signs at the top and it tells you like information about the trailhead. That's not a trailhead, but somebody's definitely been walking back there. It was so weird. He got out of the car with like 2 rubber gloves. And it's dark. And there was nobody here. And I was in my truck on the phone. And he sits there for like, I don't know, 30 minutes. And then I see him open the door. He gets something out of the car. And then he goes back to his car. He sat for like, I don't know, maybe another 30. And then he gets out the car with these black rubber gloves and heads down this trail path. Weird. And he was an out-of-stater. I know the exact make and model of the car. I took a picture. And I got his license plate. You know, for all we know, he done kidnapped some poor woman, took her body out there, and has been dismembering. I don't know. I just pay attention. Bitch, why you got on black gloves in the middle of the night? What you going to do? This is a park. Ain't that weird? Weird. You gotta pay attention. Okay. The mosquitoes are so bad, y'all. Let's go find somewhere else. And I never did grab that coffee. That's why I'm not feeling good. Down, 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 down. Bitch, I'm from Texas. Oh, he's got kayaks and everything. He got the whole setup. Yeah, it's the perfect place for Naomi. Throwing some illegal shit. I didn't even think that he could have been doing that until I smelled that this morning when we just went rolling by. I was like, oh, that's what he could have been doing. And I don't know for sure. It was just weird. He was doing something. You don't need damn rubber gloves to go on a walk. You know what I mean? Like, why would he have the black rubber gloves? Okay. Y'all, it's already so hot. It's the sweater. I shouldn't have had the damn sweater on. Oh, God. Oh, God. Babe, why are you falling out the damn... Hey, Trisha. Thank you so much. Good morning. We just got done with a little workout, a little investigative bullshit. Makes me so mad. I bet those people won't call you back. I'll let you know if they call me back. So we hit 2 and we left our phone number for the women's shelter. They got my number. They'll call me back, right? I'm a homeless woman. They'll call me back. And I don't need it. I'm sorry. Hold on. I don't need them to give me housing. I simply want to figure out where this money is going, how much money they have, you know, the beds and stuff like that. So that's the only reason. Y'all are going to have to be patient because I can't help it and I'm in traffic and I'm driving. So be patient, please. If you end up in the floorboard, I can't help it. People give me so much fucking anxiety over shit like that. It's so stupid. Who cares about a fucking angle? I got a personality. I don't need angles. Yeah, I bet they won't call back. Because what they're trying to do is they've gotten rid of the homeless population here. Instead of just giving these people resources and helping them find work and getting them potentially educated enough for them to help themselves, they take them to jail or they put them off the island. Time and time again. They do this in all cities. They do this in all cities. So it's not just here. Come on, y'all. I need a coffee, y'all. My head is pounding. Girl.
15 minutes, 42 seconds.
What the hell? She thinks I'm running, y'all. She thinks I'm physically running 50 miles an hour. Buy Apple, they said. It's superior, they said. I've had more problems out of Apple than any other phone. Ever. 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 From the AirPods to the watch to the freaking phone itself, the damn Apple Mac, all trash. It's a scam. And hell, 6 months from now, the motherfucker won't even work. You'll have to update it, and then it'll work worse, and then you'll just have to go get the newest iPhone on the shelf. How convenient for Apple. Bitch, don't even know when I'm running, when I'm jogging, what my heart rate is. What's the point? That's what I needed it for. Not me buying an Apple Watch thinking it would keep up with my distance, my workouts, my heart rate, and it not doing that. Gotta love it. Go Wonder Woman. Go Wonder Woman, go. For real. 50 miles an hour? Could you imagine? I would die. I don't even think a cheetah can run that fast. Isn't that like one of the fastest animals in the world? A panther, cheetah, black panther. I don't know. I'm not a zoologist, okay? But I don't even think that's physically possible, bro. But apparently to Apple, there's somebody out there that can run 50 miles an hour, because otherwise, why would Apple even have it as an option? Clearly, somebody on Earth can run 50 miles an hour. Apple wouldn't sell a defective product. Sarcasm. All of their products are defective. Sarcasm. I want a coffee. I want a coffee. I want a coffee. Hey, 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 hey. I ain't even had none this morning, and I'm wide ass open. Woo! I slept good. Woo! It always makes you feel better when you sleep good. Sleep is an essential part of your diet, okay? You got to get your 8 hours. You got to get your 8 hours. And hell, go for 10 if you feel like it. You'll look younger. Sure will. I really think that I look younger because I slept my 20s away. You know, heroin addict. We all have a past. But that's about the worst of mine, so that's good. But yeah, I swear that sleep keeps you looking younger. There has to be some kind of scientific analysis of people who sleep and people who don't and the way that they age. Because I'm telling you, I can always tell by somebody's face if they've had a rough life or not. I see 20-year-olds out here nowadays. They've been through it. What do you want? They've been through it. I posted a clip like a year ago of some girl that was sitting on her front porch, and she was talking about something. I don't remember what. And, she was talking about her age. She was like, no, I'm not in my 30s. She's like, I'm 26 or something. And y'all, she looked 40. She looked 5 years older than me. I mean, but she looked like a hard 45. You know, there's like a, how can I explain this? Some people, you know that saying, they've been rode hard and hung up wet to dry or something? Some people carry their age rougher than other people. Some people genuinely just have had such a rough life and rough circumstances that it ages them quicker than other people. And that girl was one of them. You could look in her eyes and tell she had been through some shit. It appeared to be probably generational addiction, but I can't prove that. But given the circumstances, the trailer behind her, her talking about her situation, there's a short on it somewhere.
And I think I even said in that video, like, this poor girl has been through a lot, and y'all out here bashing on this girl because of the way she looks. Like, she's had a rough life. It's not even her fault. Half of it ain't even her fault. She looks like that. Some people didn't grow up with fucking running water. How are they supposed to wash their ass? I guess people just can't conceptualize it because they think that everybody has running water and power, and I can assure you they don't. It's just crazy. The poor girl looked like she'd been through it, and you never know what somebody's been through, whether their parents were on drugs and beat the hell out of them, or their father was an alcoholic and molested them, or their grandparents, got custody of them because their parents died, and then the grandparents were physically abusive. A lot of people that go through stuff like that, you can tell that they've been through stuff. They just age differently. When I see 60-year-old women running around with no care in the world and beautiful, luscious hair blowing in the wind and a fresh face of fucking Botox with a fresh face of fucking, you can just, it's different. People age because of the circumstances of their life. So get your 10 hours of sleep because it'll keep you younger, and you owe it to yourself to take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Some people really just ain't never been through shit. And you can tell sometimes. You can tell. Especially in areas like this. I've had conversations with people that are special. We'll call it that. We'll call it special. And I'm talking about Florida in particular. I remember saying to somebody one time, oh, I'm going through it right now. I don't really want to talk about it. And she's like, oh, my dad just died. And I'm like, well, how old was he? And she's like 90 something because she was like 60 something. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And I literally didn't even have $1 to my name to fucking eat. And it was just, I'm not invalidating her father dying, but bitch, what if your whole family was dead? Like, at least you have $1 million condo in Florida and family left. Like, she was really crying in her beer over a man that lived a long, full life. I mean, and that's fine. You're allowed to grieve over your father, but the circumstances are different, and I see things differently. I see things differently. A lot of people just look for something to cry about and they ain't got shit to cry about. And that lady was really nice, but she was delusional. She'd been married 5 or 6 times, she told me. It was all her ex-husband's fault. You know what I mean? She ain't never done nothing wrong to a man. It was crazy. Like, I don't know. I went in there to try to, my car key is in my pocket. I went in there to have a beer and, cry in my beer. And you talk to people when you're sitting at a bar and you're like, hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? And you just start, the gift of gab, you just start talking to people. I met another lady that was really cool. She lives in Florida, and she was playing on the poker machine at this one bar I stopped at way long ago. She says, we were hanging out, and she was telling me how younger guys try to hook up with her for money. And I was like, what? She was like 70? She said that she has a lot of young guys that try to swoon her and try to creep on her for money. Because I asked her, I said, do you have a lot of younger guys that talk to you or whatever, try to talk to you? And she's like, God, yeah. She's like, they're trying to weasel their way into my wallet. I don't know. I don't think you should be sad. I don't think that you should be thinking it's the end of the world when a parent dies and they live till 90. What are you holding on to? The man's tired. He's been here for 90 years dealing with this crazy world. Can he not go home to meet his maker? After 90 years, I'm pretty sure he's ready to meet Jesus. After dealing with all these crazy people on earth. What are you crying over? And to sit there in enough diamonds and Rolex to finance my life for the next 20 years, trying to get pity from me, just blew my mind. It blew my mind. But that's how people are. It's like, dude.
Some people are so jealous, y'all. Y'all see this? Imagine. Imagine not having a personality. I know most of y'all do, but imagine not having one, how boring you would be. I didn't want to just walk out with a cup of coffee. It didn't print my thing out, and so I'm like, what is going on? Talking about the devils this morning, then I turn around and they're in my face. Y'all see that shit? Don't pay attention to the haters, y'all. Please just ignore the idiots, okay? That bitch has been in the comments running her mouth for a fucking hour. She's lucky I ain't tore her apart already. You know what I mean? I've been more than nice. More than fair. When you respond to trolls, that's what they're looking for. It's just like bullies. They're looking for attention. Mommy and daddy didn't hug them enough. They're mentally unstable and they're looking for attention. It doesn't matter if it's positive attention or negative attention. People say stuff just to get a rise out of y'all and to start shit on this channel. Please ignore them because they are children, they are worthless, and they are going nowhere. And even communicating with people like that is going to bring you down to their level and ruin your opportunities of succeeding and being a strong adult. You're meddling with evil. I saw that bitch an hour ago and I said, I'm going to leave it alone. Because I know that she's just jealous. But, you know, thank you, critter. So much. Thank you. Coffee. Why are all these fucking cops putting themselves around me? Let me tell you why. I'm pretty sure when you run my tags that this channel comes up. Because they can leave notes. For those that don't know, any and everything you've ever done on the road is logged. And other cops can see it when they get behind you and run your tags. And they can leave notes for each other too. Did you know that? I did. Yeah, they sure can. They can go in that file and put anything they want. And it doesn't even have to be legitimate. Some officer can say, oh, well, I felt like, how can I say this? In their notes, they can put that they had a hunch, or they felt like, or they suspected. And another officer reads that and takes it as word. And just assumes the worst out of you because of what another officer alleged. Same thing with the child abuse charge. Government workers can allege whatever they want, and the charges will stick. Welcome to the real world. It's corrupt. It's evil. We've got hundreds of thousands of people sitting in prison for crimes that they did not commit. And I've already been a victim of that twice. The last ones I finally got dismissed. Don't worry, but you know, that can never bring my daughter back. It'll never fix what's been done. I can never be unburdened by the burdens that's been burdened me. I sound like Kamala Harris. What is wrong? What's happening? I've been burdened by the sheriff's department's burdens my whole life. You know what I mean? Let me tell you how they treat juveniles that are in foster care. So there came a time where, thank you, I'm sorry, no, you're fine, I'm just an idiot. There came a time where I was in a foster home, right? And I had graduated from high school. Well, I graduated from Samarkand Youth Development Center, which is it was a corrections facility. I've spent approximately 8 years in prison. I spent 2 years of my juvenile life in prison because of the foster care system. And then an additional 5-6 years sporadic throughout my early 20s. I have not committed a crime in over 10 years. It's probably been longer than that, actually. But anyways, I freaking graduate, and they put me in this independent living facility because they would not give me back to my parents. Because when I was in the Department of Corrections, I had progressed. I'd made great progress. I graduated, great progress. And so the state did not want to give me back to my family because they knew that they were abusive. So I was put into a temporary living facility with social workers. It's like a group home for teenagers. So I decided to get a job, and I'm going to school at Forsyth Tech, and I'm only 16 years old. Oh, God. And I decided to sneak out of my bedroom to go hang out with some girl from work. And so she comes and picks me up, and she had this badass little Mustang, you know, a little 2-seater Mustang that was like so adorable. And we go out drinking at some friends' houses, and I come back. Well, it was the first time I'd ever drank alcohol, and I might have been 17, but I think I was 16. And apparently when I left this independent group home, when I left, I had taken the lock off the door so that I could get out the back door. I'd just taken the lock off with a screwdriver. Do you know that they charged me with destruction of personal property? They charged me as an adult. The foster home did. The state-operated facility through the Department of Social Services, the social workers overseeing the facility had me charged as an adult at 16 years old for removing a lock off of a door that was not even defective. Now, luckily, my mother was a paralegal at the time, and she helped me get that case dismissed. They actually gave me a pair for judgment. It's crazy to me that some woman would have me charged for something that never even happened. So factually speaking, I've been charged with more crimes that I did not commit more than twice because the lock wasn't broken. And matter of fact, the maintenance man showed up and put the lock back on the door with the screws. But those charges stuck until my mother stepped in me over this case. And my mother, I think I get it from. My mother said, absolutely not. I'm going to be at my daughter's court hearing. This is bullshit. She didn't even break the fucking lock. She took off the door with a screwdriver. But those social workers at that group home were so dead set on some girl who just graduated high school that had a job, going to college. They were so dead set on getting that child charged with misdemeanor charges and put on probation. And that, my friends, is how the foster care system transfers over to the criminal justice system. Makes me sick when I look back to all of the people that were foster parents to me and group home workers. I'm disgusted. I know child abusers. I'm not one, but I've had a lot of them. A lot of government workers, police officers. I've met a lot of child abusers. And I was a victim of their abuse early on. I'll never forget getting spit on by a cop when I was in elementary school. He literally opened the car door and spit in my face. I was in elementary school, 5th grade. You know, the crazy thing is there was a 10-year-old that was yelled at by a cop just not too long ago, and he was actually fired over this. And actually, it's on video. You can hear a cop telling a 10-year-old that he's going to rearrange her face. An officer of the law that came to a house call about a child that was being unruly towards the parents, and the officer immediately goes for the child's throat, talking about busting her face open. Yeah, I've seen a lot of child abusers out here. It's okay for them to steal money. It's okay for them to abuse people. So corrupt. I hate the police, y'all. I really do. I despise them. They're disgusting. Listen, y'all know how I feel. If you work for law enforcement, you are just as bad as Epstein. You are just as bad as P. Diddy. If you work for law enforcement, you are just as bad as Putin. You are complicit in evil. You cannot work that job and not be complicit. You have to be. Let's not forget I dated a cop for a long time. So, they are all in on it. Now, granted, there's probably a good portion, maybe 10, 20, 30, 40% that are just nonchalant because they're that dumb. They don't see what's going on around them. Maybe God will go lighter on them. But I'm a firm believer that most police officers are corrupt and they're complicit willingly. I just know I could never do it. The shit that I've saw in jails, and I've saw corrections officers just stand by and watch it happen. Do I need to remind you of Robert Brooks? They were all complicit. That's exactly what I mean. Robert Brooks was beat to death in New York by a series of like 12 correctional officers. This recently happened a few months back. He's dead. They beat the hell out of him. His genitals were bleeding. To kill somebody in such a malice way and to sit there and laugh about it with your corrupt police buddies, it doesn't get any more evil than that. It's right next to a pedophile. The evil intent, the willingness to want to behave that way and harm another. They'll burn in hell. I'm just hoping that God gives me the opportunity to go visit. Because I would love to. I want to go visit. Have a field day with these little fuckers that harassed me for damn 30 years. Turned me into a criminal. Charged me with crimes I didn't commit and ruined my life, you know. I would love to have a person on the street. There's a sidewalk right there. I really some Excedrin. Look at that fucker. They just are. They're probably laying out. Thank y'all again. Hello, DeLone. Is that how you say that? I think I have food poisoning. We ate out for dinner. What did y'all eat? Was it chicken? I've been getting sick off chicken. Throwing up helps. Liquid IV, lots of water. I hope you feel better, critter. Was it chicken? Did you get the bird flu? The bird flu that makes you poo. The bird poo that makes you poo, or the bird flu that makes you poo. Seafood. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I'm glad I didn't get seafood now because, Lord, I would have been sick. Because between the price of the seafood and seafood itself, I might have been sick in more than one way. $150. I really wish that I could find out more about that homeless shelter down there. I wish I would have knew about that when I was down there. I'm not near that area. Chinese restaurant? No way. Well, y'all see that man? I don't know if I want to tell you about this. I'm sure this is not what happened, but there was a Chinese restaurant where there was a worker that was filmed outside cutting up meat on the ground. We're talking about an empty concrete parking. That would be enough for me to never eat there again. I don't care if it was for the restaurant or not. So weird. It looked to be some like a pig or something, and they were just hacking it up. And like this lady goes walking by, filming the whole thing. He's bent down on the ground on the concrete, hatching meat and throwing it into a pan. And the whole time, as the owner is being interviewed, the owner's like, "Oh no, that's not for the restaurant." And the news is like, are you sure about that? Well, why would he be outside the restaurant cutting up meat on the ground? The owner's like, "Oh, I don't know. I think personal use." That's a loophole. For those that don't know, that's a loophole. Personal use. My first thought was, why didn't where is the health department? If you or I owned a restaurant and one of our employees was caught out back cutting up meat on the ground of the parking lot, we would be shut down so quick, we might die from a stroke. You know what I mean? It'd be so shocking. Yeah, it was gross. Lawrence. Where is Lawrence? Kansas. It was out of Kansas. Lawrence, Kansas. A viral video captured a restaurant employee in Kansas chopping meat on the ground. But the owner of the establishment says that customers should not be alarmed. I bet he did say that. You know, I don't understand what would compel a person to behave some of the ways that they do, but I really just think that people are idiots. Because he did not have any forethought into going out there and putting that meat on the ground and chopping it up. No forethought into that. Did y'all see the other interview in the Chinese restaurant where they were shut down because of an infestation, and the news goes in there to interview the restaurant owner, and the restaurant owner is like, oh, there's no infestation, it's a lie. And as he is saying this, there's literal roaches crawling up the wall in the shot of the news report. And the owner reaches over, swats the roach, it falls into a sink, and he's like, oh. And the reporter's like, you literally have them crawling up the wall. He's like, oh, that's just a few. Crazy. He said, oh, that's just a few. Where there's a few, there's more, homeboy. You don't know anything about roaches, do you? Tell me you ain't never been through shit without telling me. If you ain't never had roaches, you've had a fancier type of life. Let me tell you. Yes, 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 yes. If you've never had roaches in your house, you're privileged. No rat infestations, no roach infestations, you're privileged. Most people have had those problems growing up, especially if you grew up in the 80s or the 90s. It was a problem back then. Now, not so much. Now, why these problems are worse, uncleanliness. But, for real, that's wild. Oh, I wonder if that's who called me back. They called me back, Marathon, Florida. Let's see what this is. This is from that homeless shelter.
Hello, this is Maria.
Hi, Maria. My name is Brooke, and I was just calling to get some information about your program.
Yes, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. What can I help you with?
I was just wondering, I noticed that there was a decrease in the homeless population in the area, and I was just wondering if I could get any information on how many people your facility is capable of housing and what your guys' program does for the community, because it seems like y'all are doing some really great stuff around here.
Well, thank you. So we have about 38 beds for the women's transitional. It's an up to 2 years program. We work on multiple things with our clients, not only giving them affordable housing so they can save. We refer them for certain things that they might need to progress and to succeed when they transition. We work on...
Hello? Hello? Fucking Boost Mobile. First of all, I don't even need to talk to Maria anymore. I can already read through the bullshit. The fact that she doesn't say, Addiction services, education. Hey,
Hi.
sorry.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
So, yeah, so we have a typically about a 2-year program with affordable fees. They share bedrooms with other clients.
No, I saw some pictures. I saw the bunk bed set up in the lockers.
Yeah, I don't do bunk beds for my program. The men's do. So
Gotcha.
ours are just beds. There's about 7 clients per unit. We work on all sorts of things. We refer them for any kind of services that they might need that might be holding them back, such as like job searching, mental health, medical, legal, anything like that. So we also we are a sober living program, so we do random drug testing regularly.
Right.
And we just just a transit, 2-year time for them to kind of get on their feet and work on their sobriety and a safe environment for them. It's a great community. The women seem to love it. We do get a good success rate. Unfortunately, some women do, they have to be exited due to non-compliance, whether
Right.
it be fighting, whether it be, excessive drug and alcohol use. Typically, we don't the first time somebody may have had a slip up, we try to work with them or refer them to AA. We refer them to DePoo with they have IOP and all that to, make sure that they kind of get back on track. But sometimes people don't want to get back on track, and
I know.
it affects the other clients because everybody works really hard here. These women do an amazing job, and with, what they got. I also have Peacock, which is permanent supportive housing for people who have mental health conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So we supply permanent supportive housing for clients that seem to have a hard time really maintaining their ability to hold on to housing outside of, a service program. Same thing, we make sure that they're staying on top of their doctor's appointments. If they're having trouble, even mental health trouble, we refer them to their doctor. We stay in close contact with our clients to make sure everybody is, just has somebody. The biggest challenge is when people don't have a support team out there. They don't have family. They don't have friends. They don't have, proper. It can get a hold of them, and then they, have a harder time. So we try to be there as much as possible. We provide food, not where we bring food in, but if people need food, we are able to give them gift cards. We also have our SOS pantry run every Tuesday. They're all out there right now. And clothing, if they need clothing, we get tons of donations. So we make that accessible to our clients as well. And just, giving them a place to call home for a little while until they get on their feet.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, good support.
Do you happen to have like a figure of the homeless population for Monroe by any chance? Just like a number approximate?
So we did just do what they call a point in time. I do not have those numbers. The numbers would probably be best acquired through, obviously, the COC.
Gotcha.
Somebody like that, because we did just do that survey a couple months ago where we go around, count and talk to the homeless population and get a rough idea. I know that when me and my assistant went out, just us two alone, we counted 12. So, yeah, we still note them. We'll say, okay, somebody's sleeping on a bench, or, looks, they don't, but we still definitely tally up as many people as we could see. I do notice that as well the past 2 years. It seems like there has been a little bit more, more offered for people, without housing, as far as services and getting them to the next level.
Absolutely.
We also work with AH Monroe, Health and Housing Services, did umbrella our company about a year ago, and they also are a low-income housing program, so they also have case managers and everything else as far as getting people into proper housing, like prac housing, and just lower income housing. And we're lucky because Key West Housing Authority had just opened up a bunch of units. So now we got some more seniors able to be housed. My biggest problem finding housing for is the seniors on a fixed income.
Yeah.
They struggle, of course, with the single families, single moms with kids as well.
But the seniors are past working age and they're fixed on that Social Security, and it makes it so much harder for them.
It's terrible. And honestly, it's like, you get these people who are not at nursing home age or ability, but they're just on a fixed income. They're on Social Security. They may not be able to work exactly. Their bodies slow down. They can't subsidize. And that is, for me, that's my biggest challenge is finding, our seniors proper housing. And, it's difficult. It's very difficult. And it's very difficult for them because they go defeated or they go on these waiting lists that could take years. And, they just kind of flounder. I mean, especially seniors with disabilities, it's even worse because there is so limited housing for people with major physical disabilities here.
Yeah.
So like my program here, I don't even have housing right now for people with physical disabilities. So if they're, walker, wheelchair, need, anything like that, I don't have it. I'm down to 4 units now and they're all, standard upstairs, big bathtubs they got to climb in. And, not big bathtub, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and they're also harder to transition. And then what happens as well is the other clients end up having to pick up a lot of I hate to say it like this, but pick up a lot of the slack around the unit as far as chores and duties and services. It becomes, a whirlwind. And then the person just kind of gets stuck. It's like they end up floundering in the program and they still get nowhere once time is
so
up,
there's no state operated facility for the elderly here.
Just the Key West Housing Authority.
Gotcha.
They do have senior housing. It's very limited. And actually I was very lucky because one of my clients who's been waiting a long time just got accepted. So she'll be moving next week, thank God.
Aww.
Because she's been waiting a long time, but she puts a lot of work into it. She shows up at every meeting, every appointment. She has all her paperwork. She has savings. That's a big thing too, is they want to see that people are saving. And I try to explain that to some of my clients. Like, it's really important that you manage your money while you're here because these housing programs look at that. And sometimes when they're paying such small fees, that's the money that's out the window because now they got the extra, it's supposed to be saving. You know what I mean? Of course, you got to take care of yourself. Do what you got to do. But, ultimately the goal here for transitional is to save.
Right.
And that way, and then we also refer to other organizations and nonprofits for moving costs and our outreach program. Carolyn Woodhead, she's the director. She's amazing with outreach and everything else. So she definitely helps as many people as she can. We just work together and we communicate amongst each other as much as possible and try to get as many resources for these clients as possible. I do refer people to the mainland a lot of times just because the healthcare is a little bit more accessible there and, there's more housing, more affordable housing. A lot of people don't want to leave.
Right.
This time of year in the winter time, we get, an influx of people from up north who are trying to escape the bad weather. And I can understand that. If you're homeless and it's 30 degrees out, you're going to go where it's warm. But I try to explain to them that, Florida's a big state, so don't limit yourself here because even if you come into these programs, you still have to be able to afford what's next.
Right.
And that can sometimes be very challenging. I mean, these rents are $3,000, $3,500 a month for a studio, let alone, a house or people who need family, have families and this and that. So there's a lot of challenges with what we do, but, we try to keep it as honest with the clients as possible. Even the call-ins, I try to explain or refer them to as many counties outside of Monroe as well if they're looking to come down here to escape the weather or get away from certain situations. We get domestic violence. People, I had a woman call from I don't even know, I think Illinois. She was ready to come down here. She was her husband, and I said, definitely, I try to explain to people, like, definitely try to use the resources in your area first, because
absolutely.
that will build you up, at least it'll give you time instead of just coming down here and the next thing you know, there's no spots. We have COTS, which is an emergency shelter. That's an overnight shelter. It could get pretty rough there, but they did do a lot of, upgrading. It's better than a lot of emergency shelters throughout the states. So,
well, the island is so small. There's not much space. So there, I mean, you guys'
Right.
hands are kind of tied when it comes to space and.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly it, and then it's like, I feel bad when I have to turn people away because I'm like, we just don't have the space. We don't have the resources as far as, where to put some people. So like I said, I try to keep it as very honest with people, but I also try to make as many referrals as possible. So if somebody calls me from somewhere far and they're struggling, can't find, I'll get on my computer, I'll keep them on the phone, I'll get on my computer and I'll start giving them phone numbers for places to call. The last thing you want to do is hang up on somebody and tell them, you know what I mean? No,
There's
sorry,
no
end
resources,
the road.
yeah.
Yeah. So, for me personally, I try to go a little bit extra and give the person, whether they're a client here or not, a little extra time. So that way I can at least give them some phone numbers, give them some referrals, and hopefully get them, to someplace that's safe and willing to be able to help them,
Stable, yeah.
Yeah, and that's really it. Like, just did an intake today with a woman that's coming from Samuel's House, which is a 90-day transitional emergency shelter. So, she's a lovely woman. She works locally. She is from here. So, it was nice to be able to get her in the program. She's, really, it looks like she's going to have good luck with moving forward with, what's going on with her life. So, and then there's people who sometimes, they get stuck in the transitional housing and they kind of don't know what to do. And they're just waiting for like that magic call, like, here's the housing. But like I said, most of the time, those are my seniors. Those are the people who don't have any other choice. They're at a brick wall. And once again, I just try to get them on PRAC housing. PRAC housing is a housing program through HUD, and it provides housing for people on a very fixed income or no income that are disabled. So elderly and disabled. It's very limited, but the thing is that the waiting list doesn't close. So you can keep sending applications in, and as they turn, they will call. So that's a good thing. But like I said, it's so limited as well.
Yeah, a lot of people have simply just been priced out. It's unfortunate. And I'm,
Oh, no, it's terrible.
I think it's amazing that y'all have programs for people here.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I can tell you care.
Yeah, thank you. I do. It's a passion.
Yeah.
It
well,
definitely
thank you
is a labor of love.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the help, and I wish the new patient today all the best in her journey, and you as well.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, and I appreciate your call. And anytime, you just give me a call if you need any info or have any referrals.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Bye now.
So she was really nice, and I can tell that she cares. Well, that 30 that I assumed just dwindled to 12. There's approximately 12 people homeless. Now, they have several transitional housings. The thing about that is, you guys, it's not what it sounds like. None of this is what it sounds like. Where do I even start? Okay, first of all, she said that they give random drug tests to the 38. There's 38 beds in the women facility. And she said there's 150 that we read online. It's not 150. It's 38 for the women and then a few more for the men. As you heard her say, that she does refer people off the island. This is what I was alleging earlier that I said was fact, because I knew it was fact. I don't know how I do know how I knew, but anyways, as she says, they prefer to refer off the islands. They don't even want to deal with them here. Now listen, do I think that this woman don't care? No, I think she does care, but I think her hands are tied. I think her hands are tied. When local law enforcement and government officials don't want the homeless people, your organization is going to have to get rid of the homeless people, or they're not going to be in compliance, and then they're no longer going to be an organization. You get it? As I said, this is a very small island. There's only so much land. The majority of the land is taken up by resorts, government, and personal property. It's not a lot of space. As you heard her say, and I didn't even think about that. I'm glad to talk to somebody that does this for a living. As she said, there's a lot of people like myself, and I'm not going to live here, okay? Honestly, I don't even like it here like that. I miss Jacksonville. But as she said, they'll get people, an influx of people that are homeless like myself, van lifers, people that simply, they'll just take a bus here and pop up at a park. And then these people go out to do their census rolls, and that's what I'm going to call it because I don't know what to call it. They go out and see how many homeless people there are. And these people will want to live here full time. And so what she was saying is she refers those people elsewhere because they don't have the resources here. But why don't they have the resources? Because we already discovered this morning that they get millions of dollars in federal funding. They get millions of dollars in tax-free donations. These people are rolling in it. And it appears that there's approximately, probably less than 100 people altogether. If we're talking about the mental health facility that she mentioned, the drug facility, we need to circle back to that because I was about to talk about drug tests. All right, the 2 transitional housings for men and women. That's probably approximately 80 people, maybe. She said they only have a few spots for the elderly that are disabled, a few spots for, y'all, I'd have to go back and watch. Listen, there's probably less than 100 people, okay? Or right at maybe 120 people. And that's including the 12 people that they have tallied that are actually homeless on the islands, okay? First of all, Key Largo is 33 miles long. For them to only have 12 people in a 33-mile radius is crazy. That's crazy. All right, so she said the women's transitional housing, they do drug tests there randomly, and the women have to pay to live there. So that is not a shelter. That is not a homeless shelter. That is a halfway house. They can call it transition housing, but anything where they require a weekly payment of money for you to be either enrolled in school and or working, and you have to submit to random drug screens in the facility, that would be considered a halfway house. Just to be clear, for those that don't know the difference. So, they put labels on stuff that's not correct, and I see through the bullshit, and I just want y'all to know. And then she also said that if they fail a drug test, that they refer them. They refer them to NA and AA. So, hold on, wait a minute. You're going to drug test them, but you're not going to give them treatment inside the facility? And if they fail a drug test, you're going to send them elsewhere for outpatient care? Well, then why are you drug testing people? It doesn't make sense because you're not going to give them treatment for their addiction. So why dig their grave for them if you're not going to give? This is that whole mental health thing. When we prescribe mental health drugs, we are actively getting therapy with those mental health drugs. When we are a halfway house that says that we're going to drug test you, we are actively giving you addiction treatment services. Do you get it? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these places. I think the woman was lovely. I'm so appreciative of her time. She was respectful. She broke everything down. I feel like her hands are tied. I feel like the city of Monroe does not want homeless people here, and they've probably made it pretty clear that these, transition housings and these nonprofit organizations that are out here doing their job. Let me be clear. These are nonprofits. This is not the city. Because of the lack of resources in this city, a nonprofit had to open here to help people. The city budget, that $715 million, that city budget is supposed to have a homeless shelter here. That money is supposed to go towards things like that. That's what I have a problem with. On top of everything else, I've got problems. But It's just crazy to me. So I was right when I said that they were sending them off the island, locking them up, throwing them in jail, and she didn't bring up the shock therapy and straitjackets. I have those. Those are mine. They're in the back seat. You want one? I can strap you up in a gurney right now. You keep talking about these straitjackets. I think you want one. Texas DOT always writing me violations. You tell the DOT I said to suck up. You tell the DOT, pull my channel up. Brooke said, the sucker fat. Y'all, don't put no targets on my back. Don't be out here shit talking to police and the DOT and telling them I sent you to say the shit, because they'll kill me. You know what I mean? My hair looks so good this morning. Shakira. Oh. I mean, okay. So we didn't really she even left me a message. Look at that. So, I think there's a lot of politics involved as to why they don't want homeless here, and it has to do with money. And I understand that you don't want to wake up every morning and see some homeless man pissing outside in your beautiful damn rose garden. But not all of us are the same. I can assure you I've never pissed in anybody's front yard. And I would never. And it's unfortunate that homeless... And here's the thing. I really feel like God put me through this so that I had a different perspective, because there comes a point, you guys, where you're so homeless and you have no resources, as Maria was saying, I think that was her name. You don't have anybody. That makes your depression, that makes you fall into a depression, okay? The circumstances of being on the street. Maybe we need to go there for a minute. Okay. Let's imagine for a minute that our whole family died overnight, okay? We lost all our money. And listen, I know half of us are already broke. So I'm asking a lot of you right now to just imagine that you have some money in the bank, okay? We can daydream. Just imagine that you had no resources. I mean none. Like, you don't have a penny. You ain't got a bank card. You don't have a social security card. You have no family. You don't even have a cell phone. What are you going to do? What's your next plan? You get just dropped off in your local town. What are you going to do? You don't know anybody. No, you're not allowed to go see that friend from high school. You don't even know them. They don't exist. What do you do? Most people fall into a fucking depression. They start misbehaving, drugs, alcohol. Not all, but a lot, and I've done it too. I've done it a lot last year and the year before that. Being out here with no resources and knowing that no one has your back sends you to a place of mental depression that I don't think that I'll ever be able to put into words. And I couldn't imagine being without my truck and going through what I've been through for the past 2 years. I'm one of the lucky ones that somehow managed to keep my head above the fucking water and pay my bills. Some people have it 10 times worse than me. And they're sleeping on park benches and they haven't ate. And so it's no surprise when they act like fucking feral humans. It's like, I really think that society expects too much from people who are some of the most damaged people. We have veterans that die every day. We lose about approximately 20 veterans to suicide every day. Did you know that? We lost another one not too long ago. Beautiful commander in the military. She actually dedicated her life to helping other service members not commit suicide, and then she goes and kills herself. One of the most beautiful, kind women I've ever seen. And society forgot about her because they thought she was good, and she wasn't good. She wasn't good. And she dedicated her life to trying to bring awareness. Hold on one second. I want to find her. She was a single mom. I don't know if this is her. There's like 15 women on here. It's just crazy to me how society just forgets about the people that covered their ass. There's so many veterans on the streets. And as you heard, the woman on the phone from that nonprofit, it's a lot of elderly people that they've simply been priced out. They can't afford it. She did mention that there appears to be a money management issue. And I've noticed this. I have a problem with money management, if I'm just being honest. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like things could be better. I feel like things could be set up differently to be more beneficial for everybody involved, including the government. Why are we not? I don't understand why there's not. First of all, we need agriculture in this country. We have tons of federal owned land that could be turned into agricultural farms. Why are we not creating programs to help people help themselves and help society and gain skill and get educated? I don't understand why shit is set up so evil, y'all. I don't understand. We should have damn homeless farms all over this country where we produce fucking food for America, and these people learn skills and they get temporary, this is a 2-year program that this lady was just talking about. Why don't we have a damn 2-year program, transitional program for these people to work on a farm to produce for the United States? They would earn skills. They could probably get a degree in horticulture. It would help the fucking production of farm fruit shit. I just think that we could do better. We could do better. It could be better. It's crazy how having God on your side will just, I don't know, having God on your side and doing good things, you will be rewarded. But try to tell that to the damn government. What is this? I'm trying to find this girl, y'all. The devil does run the world, Emily. Suicide prevention. I can spell. I can't even find her, y'all. Good morning, Emily. Whoa, what is this? He does hate us. He's trying to kill us all. He wants to pollute all of us so he can keep our souls for eternity. And the more the devil creeps in, the darker you go. And at some point, there's no going back. And then he owns you for all of eternity. That's what evil is. Evil is like conditioning and grooming for the soul. You know what I mean? From Satan. Evil is the grooming of Satan. If he can condition you enough to believe that you should be evil, you will be. So I was looking for this woman that I was just talking about, military service member, blonde lady, single mom. I cannot find her name. I saw a report on it the other day, and it really messed me up because she devoted her life to preventing suicide in soldiers. She actually, if I'm not mistaken, she was in the military. She left the military. She came back to the military, and her whole life was dedicated to suicide prevention for our service members, which is a huge problem. They're not okay. I know that they say that they are, but they're not. When's the last time you could talk a man into even seeing a doctor? Y'all know how men are. They just ignore it. It's fine, I'm fine. It's just the tip of my finger. It's fine. It'll stop bleeding tomorrow. You don't know how men are. And then think about mental health. Men don't want to talk about mental health, especially service members that were trained to be hard asses. It's sad. What is this? Okay, I gotta read this, sorry. There was what's an SPC? Is that a special, she was a military member. As SPC Michaela Bragg's deployment to Afghanistan was coming to an end in 2011, she bought a plane ticket home to surprise her mother. But Bragg didn't make it home. A week before she was set to fly back to the United States, she was shot while she stood alone in a guard watchtower. Her last radio check had been about 10 minutes after she assumed watch. A little more than 3 hours later, a fellow soldier went to bring her some lunch, and rigor mortis had already set in on Michaela Bragg's body. This was Michaela. She was stationed. Where was that? I keep thinking Fort Bragg because her name is Bragg, but it's not. It didn't tell. Hold on. Bragg had joined the military 2 years earlier, looking for a decent job and a way to pay for school. Story is in as old as time. Her mother said she always tried to make people laugh around her. She would always be the first to volunteer and everything, and she had lots of friends. It's an investigation into her death. The Army determined Bragg shot herself. Did they? Soldiers interviewed during the investigation said repeatedly that they hadn't seen anything to indicate, they hadn't noticed that she was depressed or anything. Nothing that would indicate that she would want to be ready to off herself. They're claiming, but Bragg had tried to kill herself before during an earlier training at Fort Knox, Kentucky. In fact, concerns over her mental health had prevented her from deploying to Afghanistan with her unit, but Bragg wanted to serve with her fellow soldiers. She weaned herself off the anti-anxiety medication she took and joined her unit later. First of all, you want to know what's crazy? Her picture told me that she was on mental health drugs. I already knew that. I should have said it before. Her picture shows me that she was on mental health drugs. That weight gain, that face breaking out, the hair falling out, that's mental health drugs. It's antidepressants, SSRIs. Oh, you know what else comes with SSRIs? A high probability of self-suicide or suicide. But I don't think she killed herself because this is a sexual assault case. So it looks like she weaned herself off of her anti-anxiety medication. Oh, so it wasn't an antidepressant, it was anti-anxiety. So what is that? Xanax, Klonopin. Yeah, something like that. Anti-anxiety. Yeah, Jesus wins. Jesus wins. It don't matter if you write on... Jesus ain't a Republican or a Democrat. You know what I mean? He don't care about that. It's irrelevant. So it looks like nobody told her commanders in Afghanistan about her mental health struggles or her previous suicide attempt. Then, while she was deployed, a civilian contractor sexually assaulted her. Bragg joined a long list of women who signed up to serve their country but died, not in the line of fire, but rather by fatally injuring themselves, often following a sexual assault, harassment, or toxic command climate. The military has long struggled with the twin plagues of suicide and sexual assault. Rampant. It is rampant in our military. While the men in the military also have alarmingly high rates of death by suicide, the deaths among the military women are increasing at a faster rate. And their experiences of military culture and the reasons they kill themselves differ from men's. Over the past 3 decades, the Defense Department and the military have implemented training programs, support groups, and leadership councils dedicated to tackling both issues of suicide and sexual assault, but sustained success have proven elusive, and very few resources are devoted to studying how the two issues are connected. So they're trying to find a correlation between sexual assault and suicide in women. Women that go into the service, they're offended sexually, and then they off themselves. Let me tell you something. Most people that go into the military, they go into the military because they need money. They want to pay for school. And I don't blame them for that. Thank you for your service. I get it. I wish I could join. I wish I wouldn't have not showed up for that meeting 20 years ago, okay? I'm learning my lessons now, okay? So I think it's a great thing that it has been consistently an outlet for people from lower and middle class to get a leg up in life. I have siblings that did that. They are going to retire out. They've been in for almost 20 years now. And I can't imagine what it would be like to start this career, get deployed, get assaulted, and you don't have anybody to go to. There's nobody to tell. You can't tell your commander. You can't tell your lieutenant. You can't tell your higher-ups. They're going to shut up about it because they don't want to deal with it because they're men. And I'm not saying that men don't understand what women go through. I just know the culture of the military. It's just like police departments. It's the government. They want to sweep shit under the rug and ignore it. They want to live with blinders on and act like there's no problem until we have multiple female soldiers going missing from one fucking base. And I don't mean to generalize if I have it all. So it looks like in 2018, the Secretary of Defense, Jen James Mattis, he alluded to suicides following sexual assault in the department-wide memo on sexual assault awareness and prevention. He said, while, quote, while casualties on the battlefield are understood to be consistent with our military duties, I accept no casualties due to sexual assault within our ranks, he wrote. Ooh, I got chill bumps. Oh my God, y'all. There's a whole fucking list of women that have died. Amy Durkerson, Sophia Champox, Kaylee Harris, Nicole Burnham. They were all sexually assaulted by military personnel and then shot and killed themselves. I'm just telling you, they felt like they had nowhere to go. Their career was over if they claimed. They're in the military. Do you want a dishonorable discharge or do you want to heal from your trauma? Well, if you want to heal from your trauma, you're going to get a dishonorable discharge. You know what I mean. Do you want a career or do you want a dishonorable discharge? Because you pushed back against the sexual assault that took place, against a violation against your body. I don't know. I'm kind of the firm believer that maybe women shouldn't be. Listen, I don't think that women should be going overseas and dealing with infantry. I don't think that women should be on the front line. I think that we absolutely need our women in our military. But I think that the more traditional role, I think sticking women in more traditional roles would be more beneficial for everybody. And maybe, I don't know. I don't know. So it looks like this Amy, and it's Durksen, if you want to look her up. She wrote in her diary about being R-worded and how her chain of command berated her. What did I say? When she reported the abuse before she killed herself in 2006. Sophia, Champous, who killed herself in 2011 after she told her mother she was raped multiple times while serving in the Army. Kaylee Harris, who was sexually assaulted 10 days after coming out as gay on Facebook in 2021. She died by suicide 3 months later. Nicole Burnham, who killed herself in 2018 after requesting an expedited transfer following a sexual assault. She didn't even report the sexual assault. Listen to what I'm telling you. She asked for an expedited transfer out of that base to a different location to get away from the perpetrator. Instead, they kept her on base. They forced her to stay on base in the same barracks as her assailant. She killed herself. She had nowhere to go. She's stuck in a contract. If she even tries to leave that base and not show up to work tomorrow, she's going to have a warrant for her arrest. I mean, I don't know what they do, but I would assume it's the government. I would assume that they would have a warrant for her arrest for failure of some type of service, failure to show up for service. Listen, I don't know. I'm just assuming a lot on that. But I can tell you, if you're in the military and you refuse to act like the military, something, they gonna throw you in the barracks or something. You about to go in front of some court judge for something. I can promise you. I don't know policy and procedure, but I can promise you, if you do not obey orders, if she would have left that base and just not even showed up for work, she would have been in a lot more shit than we could probably imagine. And so it sounds like to me, through common sense and basic psychology, that all these women felt like they could not go to their superiors. They had no other route. And this is still not the woman I was looking for. The other woman was an advocate. To dedicate your life to be an advocate for suicide prevention, and then died to suicide. It's heartbreaking. Listen to this. Quote, if you would have looked at that girl one time and saw her losing weight, saw her hair falling out, if even one leader would have talked to her and asked her a question, but nobody did their job. Losing weight, hair falling out, mental health, drugs, and nobody says shit. Me neither, Emily. Me neither. You know, and I was thinking about that military thing. If I have this many problems with sexual harassment just out here living my best life, imagine what it would be like for me in the military. I wouldn't make it. I would be in the barracks before the end of a week. I wouldn't even make it through boot camp before I done bitch slap some little boy in the face. Do you hear me? These people out here might be able to talk to their mamas with that mouth, but they ain't gonna talk to me and disrespect me with that mouth. So I know that I wouldn't make it because of the sexual harassment that goes on in the military. And then once you're in, honey, you don't sign that paperwork, you're a prisoner. Like a prisoner of the West. You can't just leave. You signed a contract for 4 years. Approximately. I think it's different for different branches. I couldn't do it either. And you know, even as being like a prison guard, I've been in the county jail more than I can count. Went to prison, watched people get waterboarded in the Eden County Jail the last time I was there, Rockingham. The mistreatment of other humans, I could not stand by as a correctional officer or a cop and watch other people harm other people. I couldn't stand by and watch it and not say anything or do something. I couldn't do it. Yeah, you know, it's crazy, Emily, because I had a cousin that was actually a female prison guard, and you'd never guess it if you saw her. You'd be like, no way, you work at the county jail? She absolutely hated that job. I think she was there for like half a dozen years, and she hated it. In 2016, Morgan Robinson reported a sexual assault by a superior while she was deployed to Kuwait, but she received no support. Her mother told CBS News she was sent to Afghanistan, where her mother said she was gang R-worded by multiple other soldiers. Can we just imagine that we're in another country, serving that country, and then our own service members turn on us overseas and brutally attack us, and then we cry for help, and our superiors won't even listen to us. They don't care. This is one of the reasons that I feel like women don't need to be deployed. Unfortunately, we have a lot of weak people out here in society, specifically men when it comes to lust. They have been brainwashed. They are isolated, especially in the military. That's a very lonely life, especially when you're on deployment. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to send this poor girl off with a bunch of men But I can assure you, this is not an isolated case. This shit happens every day, and these women have nowhere to turn, no one to go to, and they're trapped into a contract with the fucking government. And that's why they're killing themselves. If I can remember, I want to look up. I mean, it shot up like 144%, if I'm not mistaken. Female soldier suicide in the past like 5 years has quadrupled. Okay? This is becoming a huge problem, and there's a correlation between sexual assault in the military and suicide in women. And this is what this is talking about. Robinson killed herself in 2018. The psychological trauma while deployed. The sequel of this trauma was a huge factor, or the factor, in her death. In 2018, Airman First Class Sissy Cox died by suicide after being sexually assaulted multiple times. A superior raped Cox while she was stationed at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio, and she reported the assault. Afterwards, the Air Force transferred her to a joint base, San Antonio, Texas. Hey, I got family that was at that base. It's an Air Force base. So she could be closer to her family as she recovered from this assault. They transferred her, but while she was there, she was sexually assaulted again at a different base. This time by a military contractor. Common theme. That's like the second one, third one. I don't remember. A certified nursing assistant who worked in the mental health department. So this was a certified nursing assistant who worked in the mental health department that assaulted this girl after she'd been transferred from a different base for being assaulted. This is what happens when you report it. The father of this poor child, Sissy Cox, said, quote, she got a living hell when she joined the Air Force. That's what her father said. She got a living hell when she joined the Air Force. This spring, Private Anna Basaldua Ruis died by suicide after telling her mother that she was being sexually harassed. Fort Cavaros was formerly known as Fort Hood, where Vanessa Golan was murdered in 2020. We've talked about Vanessa on this channel before, y'all. Vanessa Golan's, yeah. Army and base leadership promised to do better following Golan's disappearance and death. What happened was Vanessa Golan was being harassed, if I'm not mistaken, stalked and assaulted by this guy, and she went to her higher-ups and they ignored her and he killed her. I could be wrong, but something like that. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's ridiculous. Hold on one second. Vanessa Golan's case. Yeah, I know. I think our military are some of the most, once again, like, overlooked people when it comes to mental health and stuff like that. Like, they're literally forgotten about. It's like they're trained, and then we expect them to just be the biggest, baddest soldier and not have any problems or side effects from being the biggest, baddest soldier. It's like we want them to be strong and tough, but we don't take their mental capacity and psychological effects into account. I mean, soldiers that come back from war, dude, some of them never regain a state of consciousness again. Like, they're conscious, but they're not. The lights are on, but nobody's home. And a lot of those people end up on the streets, homeless, displaced, with no feelings. Exactly, Rachel. They want them to be robots that kill, obey orders, and come to work and have no emotion. This is not telling me nothing. Y'all, I'm gonna have to run. I gotta make a phone call real quick, but I'm trying to find about Vanessa. So on April 22nd of 2020, which was what, like almost an exact month after COVID, March 17th of 2020, 20-year-old specialist Vanessa Golan from Fort Texas. And if I'm not mistaken, she had actually told her family that she had been assaulted or harassed or stalked by another service member. And they told her to report it. And I don't think that she reported it, and then she ended up dead. And I'm not saying that's why she ended up dead, but Golan had been missing for more than 2 months before some of her dismembered, burned remains were found buried along the Leon River on June 30th. Robinson, who was that? Aaron David Robinson is the one that bludgeoned her to death, and he was also a soldier. He fled Fort Hood. He fatally shot himself when they tried to apprehend him. His girlfriend actually helped dismember Vanessa. Just crazy. I'm telling you right now, you ever date me and you do some crazy shit like this, I'm going to be the first one calling the cops. Actually, I'm going to probably sedate your ass with dinner and then call the cops. Yeah, he's passed out in there. Yeah, he had 2 gin and tonics and a Xanax. They're going to be like, what? I'll be like, yeah, I poisoned his ass. He told me he'd butchered some bitch at the beach. I had to. I couldn't help it. When he wakes up, you can take him into interrogation. I'm telling you, don't tell me no shit like that. You might go missing, ho. Don't tell me that you made somebody go missing, because you might go missing. That was Vanessa. She was absolutely beautiful. I will sedate your ass with dinner, for real. Don't tell me you dismembered a soldier or some shit, because I'm coming for you. And it'll probably be through your stomach when you're least expecting it. Oh, God. So I'm going to go, y'all, and then we're going to go swimming. We're going to go swimming. We might do a little bit more skating, but I got to make a phone call. That's what I'm doing. I got to make a phone call. But very interesting stuff about the homeless situation here in the Keys, isn't it? I just feel like for the amount of money that they're bringing in, they should be able to help more people. And watching that number dwindle from 230-something people in 2019 down to 12 people now, that's the number that they have living on the streets. 12. If that don't tell you something, and listen, we all know that homelessness is at an all-time high all over the country. But how is it dwindled down to nothing here? Listen, I'm not judging these people. I just know that there's money missing. That's all I'm saying. I know it for a fact now. I wish I could break into this non-profits organizations. I wish I could break into their financial records. I might be able to find something online. Do non-profits have to disclose their donations? I'm sorry, I know I said I was going, but this is how my brain works. I can't help it. Do non-profits have to disclose their donations? Not required. I don't know. We'll talk in a little while, y'all. We're going to work out, maybe cook some lunch, and I will see y'all in a little while. Bye, Emily. Thank you, Critter, so much. Bye, JR10. Let's see who else is in here I got to say bye to. Bye, Shane. Peanut butter jelly cup. Oblivious. Y'all have a good afternoon, and we'll talk soon. Bye, y'all. Pray for me.